Hello again, everybody, and welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. This is Victory Monday. It's Packer Week, and it was an ass whooping on the lakefront, and we're going to talk about it right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars align. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down, sun.
Oh my, it's Packer Week again, and Dustin's here.
He wanted a dramatic entrance.
Yeah, better late than never. What's up, gentlemen? How we doing?
What's going on, boys? How we feeling, man? 31-13. The Bears came into Soldier Field. No theatrics, no drama, just a plain ass whooping. Get back to the top of the Central. Get to that number 2 seed. 1 game away from earning back that first round bye. Man, damn, it feels good to be a Bear fan today. How about you, boys?
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. What up? Yeah, this is great, man. Bears beat the shit out of the Browns. That wasn't even close.
Bears,
They made light work of them. Very good.
yeah,
yeah.
they did what they needed to do to prove that they are who you think they are. So,
They're a damn good team. That's
yeah,
exactly
I didn't want that to be a competitive game. I wanted that.
Yeah,
to be
you didn't want to
exactly
have
what-
doubts about what this team was after that game, and you don't. It's a lot of certainty right now, I think, in terms of what you should expect from this team on a week-to-week basis, guys.
What you think, Kyle?
I mean, Sean, it went exactly how we said it was going to go, right? I mean, I said the Browns would not score a touchdown. I thought they'd score 3 field goals. It would be 9-24. They could only muster up 1. I mean, they probably could have kicked one on the last drive of the game if they wanted to, for no reason, I guess. But yeah, Shedeur Sanders did not look good. The Cleveland Browns did not look good. That's a bad team over there, guys. I think that a lot of players on their defense are giving up, are mailing it in, man. I think they're making business decisions. This defense just continues to play worse and worse and worse every single game. The Bears had no trouble running the ball. Caleb Williams had no trouble throwing the ball. The Bears did something for the first time they've done this all season. They went into a game and beat the shit out of a team that they were expected to beat the shit out of.
and played complimentary football for the
Yeah.
first time all year.
It was really refreshing.
And that Browns team might be the worst coached, least interested football team that I've seen since the Bears last year under Matt Eberflus. I said that to you guys earlier, and a lot of that looked familiar. And Daryl Johnston mentioned it in the broadcast. Like the Bears were in a similar spot last year, just couldn't find a way to get the close wins, just always tripping over themselves. That's what this Browns team is right now. They are bad.
Well,
They're
that but the offense put up 30. The defense got their takeaways, and special teams was phenomenal. It's the best. It's the best complimentary game of football. This
is
Bears
moving
team.
up the ranks, guys.
defense
They're like
I was
number
gonna
15
say,
against the pass now,
they
like
did
number
a
19 against the run. They
Well,
were
they're
2 weeks
getting
ago. They
healthy,
were
man.
like 30th against both of them. Yeah, and this is what we've been saying all season. People were judging the Bears defense without 3 of their best players. They
I think the
started to
line
get these
still
guys
sucks.
back healthy, and all of a sudden the Bears defense starts to move up the ranks a little bit here. You're instead of 28th against the pass, you're 19th against the pass instead of 20 or 31st against the run. I think the Bears are now 20th against the run. They're starting to move up the ranks here, and I'll tell you what, Quinshot Judkins and the Cleveland Browns running 50 yards certainly helps those statistics big time.
12 rushes for 21 yards for Quinshon Judkins.
You know what, though? That's back-to-back weeks, though, because Junkins had the
whole
same
team
problem
rushed for
last week,
50
but
yards, guys. 50
Yeah, no, their
yards.
yards per carry was abysmal.
Oh,
Yeah, Mikey, your
there-
score
what
was
was-
close. Mikey threw out. I
what
forget
was-
what it was, but I knew
It was 31-10. Mikey's was.
Yeah, I think is what he had. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah,
having-
I messaged him during the game. I was like, "This is looking real 31-10ish."
the
Sean, what
closer,
didn't Vizzo Joe have 31-3 or something?
Bizzo, where's Bizzo?
This was the
Joe?
one that
Bizzo-
asked if anyone hit their score.
Bizzo Joe had 28-10.
No.
Mikey had 31-10. So Mikey, I screwed up when
And
I
the
told him.
Browns were that close to a touchdown at the end of that game. I told him, like, this might be your score might be coming up here.
Yeah, Mikey was definitely on
Browns
it.
fell short.
But because
And
of
Brandon,
But because of our boys, the Denver Broncos, who came in and once again, Mr. Overrated gets the ball in his hand with plenty of time. I don't want to hear about Michael Parsons and all that bullshit.
Like 5 times,
he had
Sean.
plenty of time to lead his team back to victory.
They had a
Instead, he went
double-digit lead in that
0 for 4.
game. They had a double-digit lead in that game.
I believe in the third quarter, they said the Packers were up by 9 with the ball. And by the end of the third quarter, the Packers were down by 9.
Yeah, that Broncos team is
the Broncos scored like 26 unanswered points or some
that
shit.
Broncos team is good, but the Packers took a lot of hits. We got to get into that, but I just want to go. Brandon, it can't be like glossed over the fact that this was the best game our special teams has had all year. That was the biggest difference in that first quarter, that first half. Really,
that's what I said.
The field position. No, I just want it kind of got glossed over, so I'm just going back to it to make sure that yes,
we're gonna
special
break
teams was a huge deal in that game, and it was the best game that they've had so far this
early.
season.
Especially early.
Yeah, you guys, that should have been 4 takeaways because I've never seen the NFL blow a sack dead. Like, it'd be one thing if Shadir was running the ball, but he wasn't. He was moving side to side. He got sacked, and they blew the play dead. That was a sack. They should have let him fumble. That should have been a fumble, and the Bears should have had 4 takeaways in that game.
Yeah, 100%, man. That was.
And anybody who's watching Wednesday's show where Jason and I said take the over 2.5.
Well, and Nation, right, dropped a
year.
Give me
got a
a
couple bucks in your pocket
for a touchdown.
I'm sorry, Kyle. What did you say?
Anybody watching Wednesday's show where Jason and I said take over 2.5 interceptions for Shadir Sanders? You probably got a couple bucks in your pocket now, man.
No, yeah, he was going to throw.
I think the odds were like plus 500.
Yeah, no, the Bears did exactly what they needed to do against Shadir Sanders. They made him look the way he should have looked against that defense with that defensive coordinator. I mean,
pressure all day.
Rookie quarterback on the road in those conditions. Yeah, they did what they needed to do.
Hits.
They blitzed effectively, and the more importantly, they got the 4-man rush there without having the blitz, and that offensive line was just
it's
beating the shit.
It's
Yeah, the only way that they could have got any better for the Bears is if Seattle would have somehow lost to the Colts and Minnesota would have somehow lost to Dallas.
For one game,
the whole
the
division.
Niners.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, guys. JJ McCarthy actually looked pretty decent. That's his best game of the season for sure.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, I've said this already. Every quarterback that plays the Cowboys looks like the best quarterback in football the week they play the Cowboys. But
Mahomes didn't.
The Niners losing to the Titans would have been huge for the Bears. That didn't happen, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought Caleb did something in this game, guys, that I haven't yet seen him do throughout his career. And we saw the statistic across the 1,000 passes, least interceptions, NFL history, which is phenomenal. But I thought that a lot of his ball security and protection came from just not being willing to throw those chance balls, man, to give those guys a shot. And for the first time ever, I think he really threw a prayer to a player that he knew might be better than the guy defending him.
I gotta disagree with you, Brandon. That was not a prayer, and I don't think that was a chance ball. That was on target. DJ Moore was going to catch that, or was going out of bounds.
Let's take a look.
Yeah,
let's take a look. I don't see
there's
this.
Not much chance here. This is on target as it gets.
Well, what if I said you guys that he told DJ Moore, I'm going to give you a 50-50, and then DJ Moore told the lady who interviewed him after the catch, he told me he was going to toss one up and give me a chance. He told me he was going to toss it up and give me a chance, and I came down with it. So what does that imply to you?
I mean, he gave him a very
quarterback and receiver own words.
Lacey taking away credit from Caleb Williams.
No, it's not taking away credit. He's saying that Caleb is throwing the ball up for his guy to make a play.
You guys,
but he couldn't have put that ball in a better spot.
That might be the best throw of his entire career.
It's the best throw of the NFL season, guys.
When Caleb Williams retires, even if he plays for 15 years, when Caleb Williams retires, hold on, let me finish, man. When they make his career highlight reel of Caleb Williams and they're showing you 5 minutes of Caleb Williams and how good he was in his 15-year career, that pass is going to be on that highlight reel. 100%. That pass is going to be on. I looked at Sean and said, that is one of the best passes I've ever seen in the history of the NFL, because I thought for sure, A, I thought he was throwing it away when we released it, and B, I thought it was picked.
I thought it was
I thought it
pick
was
two.
picked.
It's a cardinal
Yeah.
sin in the NFL to
Yeah,
throw
and
back across your body to the middle of the field
Off
where
your
you're
feet.
rolling out right.
Off.
Yeah,
He wasn't.
the way
Even, his feet weren't even touching the ground.
the cardinal sin, and you're like, oh my god, that's a terrible decision. But Caleb Williams made a perfect throw. And Brandon, I get what you're trying to say. I understand it, but
Well, no,
I
not
feel like
what I'm trying to
calling
say.
it a
From the
chance.
mouths of babes.
No, but that's fine. But like he gave him a chance to make a play on the ball. But in the
And he
process
told
of
him he
doing
would.
that, he threw a fucking dart that was the only place it could have been.
I'll say this.
Caleb's,
That's how you dot a fucking
Caleb's
I.
throws are always
Right there.
impressive. Caleb's throws are as impressive as that was yesterday. Every time he lets the fucking
Not
ball go
as
to me,
impressive
man.
as that.
But I do believe
Yeah,
that if a
literally the
quarterback
full
tells a receiver, "I'm going to give you a chance ball," and then the receiver after the catch tells the person who's asking the question about it, he said he was going to give me a 50-50 and I got it. That was probably kind of the plan.
Hey, Brandon, I'll say that was the prettiest 50-50 ball to
Okay,
end up
it's
dead
a
center of
good
his chest
pass.
in the back of the
Shadur
end zone.
Shadur threw a beautiful 50-50, and Jalen Johnson came up with the
No,
football.
you guys.
That's what
No,
happens,
I
man.
don't think that
know
was.
if that was
I
a
don't think that was
50-50
the
ball.
Bears' best game of the season, but I think that was Caleb's best game of the season. I think the
Without a
Philadelphia
doubt.
game, I was more impressed with the Chicago Bears in totality. But the Bears' defense played absolutely phenomenal yesterday. Obviously, justifiably so because the Browns suck. And Caleb Williams played within the structure of the offense, and he played against one of the best, the number one passing defense in the NFL, and he made them look really bad. Listen. Every throw that even the other touchdown to DJ Moore was a runner's ball where Caleb threw that up and let Jalen or DJ run
That
to the
pass
ball.
was
I mean, that was a
beautiful.
perfect pass. That pass that Luther Burden dropped was gorgeous. It was right on the dot, and unfortunately Luther just dropped it. There was a pass to Colston Loveland that was thrown way before Loveland made his cut. That was absolutely phenomenal pass. Could not have been more. He couldn't have walked it over to him and handed it to him any better. Caleb looked the most comfortable he's ever looked. And you know what? I understand his completion percentage was still 61%, but that's a lot better than 54, 55, 56, 57 that he's been throwing. And it was against the best pass defense in the NFL.
Hey,
now,
Kyle,
obviously, missing Denzel Ward, and that's huge.
About completion
That's huge.
Kyle, I'll piggyback off of that.
The
for you really
progression is
quick,
obvious, guys.
because
Yeah.
Caleb Williams had a 90.2 pass grade this week, which is the highest of his career, and his adjusted completion percentage was 80.8, which is his season high. So the adjusted obviously is taking away the drops and the things that are out of his.
And what month is it right now?
It's December. It's December.
Well, dude, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things we could talk. I mean, listen, I have
They're all
been
playing
telling
their
people
best
since
football.
day one, guys. If this defense gets healthy, people kept saying, "Oh, they're 20th or 21st or 20." I don't think so. I think this.
I don't
defense is
think
better
we
than
need
you
to
think.
start giving this defense flowers after playing that fucking.
Yeah, the
abysmal
defensive
It's
line
not
is
about.
bad,
It's not about the Browns. It's about the fact for the last 6 weeks of the season, the Bears have been very tough to run
The
against.
defensive line is bad.
They are still
There's no
taking the ball away
arguing
at the
that.
highest clip in the NFL. They
The
still are
takeaways
top
you can't
3
argue.
and third down efficiency. The Bears defense is becoming one of the most annoying defenses to play in the NFL.
Oh, they are, because Dennis
And they're
Allen's
getting
annoying.
Tremaine Edmonds back, who before he got hurt had what 89 tackles,
An all-pro
1
season.
sack,
interceptions.
3 interceptions, 4
interceptions.
He was on his
interceptions.
way to an all-pro
Like
season.
he
for
was
sure.
probably the best linebacker in football. and he's coming
100%.
back.
If they get healthy at the right
Agreed.
time, running
He
into
was,
these
Kyle.
playoffs,
In
and
the
that's what we
NFC,
keep
he was.
saying, right? If they get healthy at the right time, running into these playoffs, they are going to be very hard to beat. And this defense could be something very different than what we've seen all year. All I'm saying is, I don't know how much credit you want to give to a defensive line for getting 4 sacks when they're playing against that offensive line. 5 sacks, sorry.
Yeah.
When they're playing against that offense. The 5th one, I guess you can count the last
Here,
play.
I'm putting this out there again.
Well, and Dustin,
tackles,
we have
five
to talk
sacks.
about a week ago they were egregious.
Yeah,
Jordan
this
Love,
is.
a week
I
ago
don't
they
care
were
who you're
insulting.
playing. This is incredible. This is an incredible day. I'm giving the defense their flowers.
No, 100%. But all I'm saying is you were playing one of the worst offenses in the NFL.
Hey,
they are getting
you know what?
healthy.
So
and
were they
are
when they were
getting
playing the
right.
Saints?
I
So were
want to
they
see
playing
them
all
do
these
it
other
this
teams.
week against the Packers.
Yeah,
at home.
you guys want to hear a crazy statistic?
That's what I'm saying. You
You want
guys
to hear a crazy statistic?
They've played teams that are just as bad, and they didn't look that.
The Browns' offensive line.
The Browns didn't do shit.
The Browns' offensive line was the worst pass protection unit in the league before the 3 injuries. Think about that. Think about that.
Sanders was the
That
shittiest
might be the
quarterback
worst
in the NFL
5 players
before
ever to
that
step on a football field in
I
a
disagree.
single
The
game.
2023
In a
Chicago Bears
single
offensive line
game.
rival this line.
Sean, hold on. In a single game, that might be the 5 worst offensive linemen that ever stood side
Do you
by
remember
side.
when
in football.
Justin Fields got sacked 9 times?
Yeah, but those were your starters.
Caleb Williams got sacked 68 times.
Those were your starters at least.
All I'm saying is that offense is bad. I want to see the Bears continue to string this together. They are getting healthy at the right time, and hopefully all this comes together and they're ready for a playoff run with a defense that's much better than what we've seen up to this point. But again, that Browns offense is maybe the worst offense in the NFL, and the Bears made them look even worse than they actually are yesterday.
Listen, you know what? And I
they exploited a bad unit.
When I was talking about this game on Wednesday, and I was like, guys, the Bears are going to go in there and beat the shit out of this team, and they're not going to score a touchdown. This team is not going to score a touchdown. People in the chat were like, Judkins is feisty. Shedeur Sanders is better than Dilling. I'm like, guys, this team sucks. They're not good. Shedeur Sanders is not good. The Bears are going to absolutely dominate from start to finish, and they did. So you got to give them credit. I mean, at least they did. They went out there and handled their business. They're asked to go out and dominate a bad team, and that's exactly what they did. They beat the living shit out of them. Beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. I think I had them with 13 points. Yeah, the defense performed better than
on Thursday. We made last week. We made a pretty big point on Thursday to say that the Bears will win this game if they beat. They had to win in the trenches. The Browns' offensive line was way short. Dustin, do you have that stat, that graph you showed from Thursday's show?
If it's still in there.
Pop that up there if you have that, man. Because this offensive line is worse than you even think it might be. It's the worst offensive line. Dustin put up a graph on Thursday's show where the Bears were. We really did it to show the Bears. The Bears were up there at the top with the best offensive lines in football. And the Browns were on a lonely little island. They were on a lonely little island all the way on the bottom left of both categories. I mean, they were egregious. And that was before 3 starters missed the game and Tevin Jenkins got injured in the game. So 4 players total. The Bears had, me and Sean talked about it on the Sunday show. The Bears needed to prove to us they can exploit a bad offensive line on the defensive line, right? They did that. They came out, they got 5 sacks. However, I do believe when you play the Packers next week, if that doesn't carry over, it's fucking irrelevant to me.
Vernon, the Browns beat
these guys aren't good enough.
The Browns beat the Packers. That offensive line you were talking about was all the way at the end of the
I don't care. Yeah, look at the Browns. Here we go. Look at the Browns.
They beat the Packers.
Look at the Browns.
The Browns have 3 wins. Listen, you guys, are the Browns?
Hold on. Here's the grip.
I don't know.
Look at the Browns
for sure, but they have wins. They're an NFL football team that has found a way to win games. They actually won a game.
Look at where the Bears
not last week, but the week prior, and the Bears were in there and made them look like a high school.
And where do you think the Browns are now?
The shit out of them, dude. They had 50 total rushing yards. 50.
The Bears played a great game of football from beginning to end. Special teams, defense, offense was on top of it.
Guys, that game
every way, 100%.
First touchdown of the game. The game was over.
Monday.
It was over because the Browns were
60 minutes of great football.
The front seven is substantially better with TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. I'm not arguing that at all, Kyle. They're making a major impact on this football team. I do think the defensive line is still not a very good unit, and I think when they play Green Bay next week, we're going to be asking the same questions we were a week ago.
What's up, V-Dog? It's been a while, man. How you doing?
That's just how I feel. That's how I feel.
You can't change the defensive line now. All you can do is hope that Dennis Allen's smart enough to scheme around it.
I know, but
exactly what he did.
You said this defense is ranking. You were talking about the increase in rankings
for a month and a half now. I've watched him at time from time. He's had some good games. He averaged 1.2 yards per carry, bro.
12 carries for 21 yards.
That is absolutely
astronomically
bad.
Jarrett was a beast.
Astronomically bad. Now, Vernon, if he averaged 2.9 or 3.1, I'd be like, oh, you know what?
Which quarterback are the Bears going to sack 5 times moving forward?
Come on.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to sack a quarterback.
It will matter. It absolutely will matter, Sean.
Just get pressure. Because I hate to tell you this,
picking you apart, it will matter.
Broncos and Packers
got
game
sacked
yesterday,
3 times, bro.
It wasn't sacks that got Jordan Love flustered. It was
Are you serious?
Then they got sacks later. Yes, because they had 0 sacks going into the 4th quarter, dude.
Dude,
they real quick.
They talked about it on the show.
Go ahead, Dustin.
Got a new member of the chat. Okay, let's just shout him out. I've never seen.
And put in the chat if you're a believer of this defensive line.
Junior, what's up?
No one has to be the believer of defensive line.
Thanks for being here.
Defensive line has 10 wins and is in first place in the NFC North, bro.
Yeah, it's not going to fall on one unit to win football games for this team.
No, so they don't have 10
wins. When the defensive line is not performing,
an egregious statement.
When the defensive line is not performing, the secondary steps up, right? When the passing game is not working, the running game works.
That's Dennis Allen.
When neither one of them is working, the special team steps up. This team is playing, like you said, Brandon, at the top of the show, complementary football, and they're finding a different way to win every fucking week.
That's the job of the
Now,
coach.
when you're going into this Packers game on Saturday, it's going to be harder, obviously, to get home on Jordan Love.
The point I was
it's
making,
going to be
Dustin,
harder
is what you
to
led
defend
with.
him if you can.
You
We
led
saw
with
that on last Sunday.
You led with to counter
there might be
Kyle's.
something better happening here with this defensive line.
Listen, all I'm saying is Kyle
Austin
talked
Booker
about
had
the
2 sacks.
rankings.
We've been talking
Kyle
about him
talked
for
about the
almost a year,
rankings
guys.
increasing. Dustin said we played the Browns. There was some banner back and forth. I just want to let it be known, as good as the defensive line looked in this football game, that is the worst offensive line that's ever touched the football field.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind who you're playing. That's all I was
And a
saying.
terrible quarterback who holds onto the ball too long.
Well, I've
Way
been
too long.
saying this.
100%.
Saying this
I
to
just
you
want to
guys
say,
for 10
just
weeks,
don't
and I got beat up for it.
5 sacks
Now
next
it's okay.
week.
Now it's okay because we played the Browns, because I said this for 6 weeks, and you guys, you're wrong, Sean, you're wrong. And now,
Well, no, you were saying that about Caleb Williams.
I'm saying
That's
that about the whole
different.
fucking team.
Yeah, he was saying it about
the whole
He was
team.
saying about the whole team, man. He was saying it about the whole.
What did we
No,
talk
you were.
about? I don't even know where we went.
My issue was
Sean was saying,
don't
don't take too much out of these wins because we just beat the Saints and the Giants, and people were like, "Oh,
I am not on
And I said I would change my opinion when they start beating real teams, and they are beating real teams.
How is that referring to what we're talking about now, though? I don't understand.
I just want to make the point that that's not the boat I'm
Because
in, guys.
you're bringing up the same thing I brought up for weeks that everyone told me I was wrong about. I never said this defensive line was great.
No.
The defensive line was great yesterday.
No, I'm bringing up what I've been talking about since before the season.
Since the
they're not good enough.
Yeah,
they were good enough yesterday, and
that's
it's
not
business.
Sure,
So
that's
let's
not
see
the
how
boat.
good they are next
Sean,
week and
Sean,
celebrate what they did this week, because what they did this week was go out and dominate a
right,
football
Sean.
game
But you
like
also
they were supposed to.
You also agreed with me Monday of last week that the Packers didn't get enough. We didn't get enough pressure. That changed the game.
Well, everyone
That's
agreed on that.
It's a week-to-week business. And what have we been saying about this coaching staff? They find a problem, they go back to the lab, and they fix it.
That's why I'm saying what I'm saying, Sean. It's not fixed. It's not fixed.
Yeah, it's not fixed. You played against the Cleveland Browns.
That's my point.
Let me ask you a question, Dustin, but real quick, just out of curiosity.
Hold on. Let me say this. I've been trying to say this, and then I'll let you ask your. I am not in this boat of like that win wasn't impressive. That's not where I'm at. I'm saying you played a shitty offensive line. That's why the defensive line was able to get pressure. I feel like the Bears played a complete game from start to finish, and that's the first time that they've done that all season. I am very optimistic, and I feel great.
On all three phases too
about that win. But you just do have to keep in mind with that offensive line that it made it a little easier on this.
You guys, but we're also
Sure.
like the Bears have found ways to get. They're 19th in the NFL in sacks. You guys talk about them like they're 32nd. Like they're finding ways to
I'm
get
not
sacked.
talking about
With
them
the
like
poorest
anything. I'm just
defensive
saying
line. They just find ways to get sacked. TJ Gardner Johnson has 3.
Well,
Kyle
and
Gordon had 2 when he came in.
quarterback
Jermaine Edmonds
behind
had
that
1.
line.
TJ Edwards has a couple.
Should we not
they
celebrate
find
this then?
they scheme ways to work
No, I
around their
love
weaknesses.
Austin
and
Booker.
their
I'm not
deficiencies,
saying
guys.
don't celebrate anything. That's not the message here.
Just
My
keep it
message
in
was,
perspective going into the
it's
next
not
week.
fixed.
Guys, you think we're stupid? We're
Hold
grown
on.
ass adult Bears fans. We know their weaknesses and their strengths. But listen, I don't give a shit.
Are you
I'm not gonna
interpreting that as us
That's
saying
like,
you're stupid?
That's like
That's not what's being said.
apologizing for if Caleb has a 300-yard game because he
Let
played
me
the
ask
worst
you
pass defense in football. I don't give a shit. He still
Well,
went out there and threw 300 yards against an NFL team.
every time we
The
win a
Bears
game-
had 5 sacks against an
That's the good
NFL
point,
caliber
Kyle.
roster.
A lot of people
Every
were
time we
trying to
win
do
a
that
game, though, we
Caleb
get to
when he
be
did that to the
critical of
Cowboys.
Caleb Williams, don't we?
I wasn't, and he hasn't thrown for 300.
You're not critical of
I
Caleb
wouldn't
Williams,
make
Kyle?
excuses for it. I'd be like, "Hey, good job, Caleb."
Are we
No, but
critical
when
of
Caleb
Caleb
balled out-
Williams
Yes.
after wins?
Yes.
Have we been critical of
Yes.
Caleb Williams after they win football games?
I've
Yes.
been critical of the entire team.
All I'm saying, guys, and we'll end it here, the line is not fixed. And that's what I believe both of you were pitching. It's not. It's
I
not.
wasn't
I didn't
pitching
interpret
anything.
them saying
You said
that
it,
way.
Sean. You
I said
came
they
out
had
of
a
your
good
mouth.
week.
You said the
They
line's
had a
fixed.
good-
It's not fixed.
No one said that, dude.
No, I don't think
At
anybody
no point
said
did
that.
anyone say the line
I
was
don't
fixed, dude.
I don't know that anybody said that. That's not how I interpreted what you guys
Okay.
were saying. Just to be
Let
clear.
me ask you this
But-
though: do you not think every week Austin Booker is continuing to get better?
I was arguing with Brandon last week. He was saying Booker wasn't playing well, and I thought he was playing really well.
Sean, this is what I've been saying to you
You know,
guys.
Booker's led
all
the team
offseason.
in pressures. Like
I've been saying this since the offseason. So I'm going to tell you this. My opinion hasn't changed. Between Montez Sweat, Austin Booker, and Gervon Dexter, and no matter how much they exceed and how much progression they make, none of them are irreplaceable. Not one of them cannot be
Well, you can
replaced
just
by
go
a
pick,
better
you can just go
football
pick
player.
up 13 tackles
so-
for loss and 9 sacks off the
So
street.
that's what the Bears should be focused on
Good
when the
enough.
offseason. If I'm Ryan Poles, I'm focused on the defensive line. Sean, you could be focused on something entirely different. You can go after wide receivers or running backs, whatever the fuck
Roma
it is.
Dunze is
I'm
replaceable.
focused on the
You can
defensive
replace
line.
Roma Dunze with another
That's
wide
my
receiver
thing.
next year who could be just as good.
What do you guys?
You can
What are
go
you
get
guys
T. Higgins.
focused on?
You could trade T. Higgins to the Bengals for Roma Dunze tomorrow. What does that mean? That he
What are you
sucks?
guys
Who gives a
focused
shit?
on,
It doesn't.
Kyle?
Every team has replaceable players outside of the quarterback, bro. It doesn't matter. It
Kyle,
doesn't matter, dude.
Kyle,
That means nothing.
what are you
That's
drafting?
a useless
J2K says
statement.
Booker's pass rush
What are you
looks like he's
drafting?
cleaning a window.
What are you
I've
drafting?
liked Booker, man. I think Booker has put
Guys,
forth
what do
great
you?
effort.
Three of you. What are you drafting? What are you drafting in the
A
offseason?
lot of things: a safety, a defensive tackle, a defensive end, maybe a left tackle, maybe a running back.
You
thought you were
definitely
good on left
need to. Hey, do you remember last
What's up,
week?
James?
Do you remember last week, Brandon?
What's up,
I said
guys?
the ultimate downfall of the 2025 Chicago Bears might be the interior of this defensive line. But that
Yeah, you
doesn't
said the
mean
defensive line entirely. Yeah.
correct. But that doesn't also mean that they didn't have a good week. And I'm not going to be happy that they went up against a professional team.
boy.
I didn't say it was fixed. I do know this. The Green Bay Packers are coming to Chicago with a
When
mangled
you did, I
offensive
said
line.
that.
And
When
I
you did,
dare
I said
you, Brandon.
that's what I'm trying to counteract.
Listen, I dare you to go look up the Packers'
Scottish?
offensive statistics on that line without
I
Zach
agree, Mike.
Tom and see
I
how
don't-
awful
Yeah,
they
Joe
are.
Tryon.
So the Chicago
Shoyinka
Bears
was
could take
awesome,
advantage
Kyle.
of that
He was
again
really
next
good.
week, my friend.
Another good
There's
week.
also
Revenge
no Elgton
game.
Jenkins.
Was Tom in? Was Tom in last week?
Guys, let's
Tom
not
got hurt.
let's
Was he in
kind
there?
of
Against the Broncos. Tom wasn't against the Bears.
Yeah, guys,
2 weeks ago.
let's
let's
get
kind of
into-
focus on the chat. Let's focus on moving this fucking conversation forward. Mikey says he's focused on the playoffs in this season. That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
where
really
I'm at.
looking. I'm not looking to the offseason right now. Mike Ross says Joe Tryon Shoyinka was beating his man
He
a lot
was
yesterday.
stud.
We overlooked big time the
Yeah, he was
revenge
stud.
game factor for Joe Tryon.
I
Shoyinka.
texted
He
you
had
guys.
an
Nobody
awesome
said
game.
nothing. I
He
said,
had
what
an
if he
awesome
explodes
game.
this game?
I love I don't know. Put it in there.
I
But somebody put in the
didn't see
chat.
the
It's
text,
time to
man.
kick the
Sorry.
Green Bay Packers off a cliff. I agree 100%, guys.
100%.
This win for the Bears beating the Browns, which we all expected, and I think everybody on Wednesday picked the Broncos to beat the Packers. Obviously, they lose the star player Micah Parsons for the rest of the season due to a torn ACL. If the Bears want to make a
The
statement to the
Packers were
NFC North,
favored in that
it's
game.
time to go kick the Packers off the cliff. It's time to dominate. Go out there, dominate this game on Saturday, beat the Packers, and let the rest of the NFC North know that you are here to stay. You're going to take the North. You're never going to give it back. The Lions lost in a tough fought game against one of the best teams in football in the Rams. The Packers went to a stadium that nobody else has won in this year. They lost to the Denver Broncos. Unfortunately for us, the Minnesota Vikings beat a poor Dallas Cowboys team. But this is prime time for the Chicago Bears to take over the NFC North.
Yeah.
If they beat the Packers, guys, that is pretty much it.
If the Bears
That's
beat the
pretty-
Packers,
it's almost
Hold on.
impossible.
Hold on. I get to respond. V-Dog, I'm talking about the defensive line. That's all I'm talking about. I don't know what way you interpreted it. I've been more aware of I am the only person in this panel to pick the Bears to be in the playoffs this season. I'm aware of their success. I'm aware of how special this is, what they're doing. The culture change. The quarterback is the guy I love the most. I've always have. I get it, bro. I'm talking about the defensive line is going to show its woes later in the season. That was my hope point. That was my hope point.
I think we all picked them at 9 or 8 wins, all of us. But yeah,
I
I said 9 wins, and maybe they make a playoff card. Maybe
and they're already at
maybe
10
not.
wins, guys.
Yeah, it depends on how
we should
how
really
the NFC goes.
We should really be excited and happy about the fact that the
I
Bears
think
got the
everybody
10
is.
wins
I think
yesterday.
everybody's excited.
Let's just take a
And they're
moment
gonna get-
and
they're
let
gonna
that
get another
shit sink in.
They're
The
gonna
Bears
get
got some
another win.
double-digit wins with a rookie head coach. They're number 2 in the NFC, back on top of the NFC North, and their destiny, their fate is in their fucking hands. They got the Packers this week. They're playing the Niners, who are in that list as well, and then they're playing the Lions, who they can keep out of the playoffs as well.
They play all three teams. All three
And
teams
if-
that
and
are
if
in their race.
If they win
Bears
3
control
games,
their
you guys, if
destiny.
they win 3 games, the last 3 games, which I know it's a big if, but think about this. When's the last time we could say this? If the Bears win the last 3 games of the season, they're going to get a home playoff game, no matter what. At worst, they finish second in the NFC. At worst,
I think Kyle, if they win
finish
2 of the
second
last
in the
3,
NFC.
they're going to get a home
If
playoff.
they beat the Packers and they beat the Niners, it's done.
Yeah, they'll have a
They've
home
secured
playoff.
the
If they
number
win
2
3
seed.
yeah, so
games,
they will get
they
a home
might-
playoff. When's the last time the Bears fans been sitting here with 3 weeks left of the season talking about we could
If
have
they
a home
win-
playoff game if we just win 2 of the last
2018, Kyle.
3.
If they
Yeah, like,
win the final
this is-
3 games, Kyle,
This is
they'll
unknown
be.
territory for Chicago Bears, and even 2018, guys. Mitch, no, I don't think any Bears fan in the world was like Mitch Trubisky.
It didn't feel like this.
Super Bowl
It
and win a
didn't feel like
championship.
this.
No,
I'll say that.
this team could. The Bears proved on what they proved on Sunday against the damn good defense is they could score on anybody. That's what the Bears proved to the rest of the NFL.
I think if
Browns best defense in the NFL, we don't care.
If they win out, they're the number one seed in the NFC.
Possibly.
One thing I want to touch
the Rams finished their season with the Seahawks.
If the Rams beat the Seahawks, then we won't. Or if the Seahawks beat the Rams, they both have a.
I think
whoever
the Bears
loses, we still have the second best record.
Yeah, the Seahawks or the Rams will be the number one seed.
Yeah.
The way it's looking, the Bears are shooting for number 2. Like that's really like as good as it's gonna get. I think
somehow they could lose. They both lose 2 games. That'd be great.
Yeah. Like if
they play each other twice, right?
Well, the Bears.
No,
if the Bears beat if the Bears beat the Niners,
Thursday,
I think the Niners would lose 2 games.
Yeah, that's
the one thing I wanted to touch on from yesterday's game, guys.
That's why I wanted Seattle to lose to the Colts, Sean. Yesterday we were talking.
Yeah, that was close.
God, Seattle lose.
I was hoping.
Let me bring one thing up, guys. Because yesterday on our pregame show, and I just want to give credit to Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams this passing game. Because yesterday on our pregame, none of us really expected this Bears passing offense to be a huge factor in this game.
Caleb Williams.
And Brandon said bench Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams said, fuck that. This guy can throw in any weather. We're going to come out there and take advantage of this defense. And they lit them up with the passing game. I just want to say, like, we were all kind of wrong about that. We thought it would be a complete running game, dominate the trenches. Caleb Williams, Kyle just said he thinks Caleb Williams played the best game of his career in that weather against that defense. I'm just so amazed by that, and I just want to make sure it's said out loud. The Bears really fucking had an amazing game plan yesterday, and they executed it perfectly in that passing game. They really did.
They still ran more than they passed, but not by much. It was
but when they passed, they made it fucking count.
Yeah.
Another thing you saw yesterday, and like once again, guys, and you guys know I love Kyle Monangai, but you saw the difference yesterday between DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. DeAndre Swift is
that's the other thing I want.
Quite obviously, the more dangerous player. DeAndre
Swift
what
I've been saying all year about Kyle
Monangai. Swift was the motor that was running the Bears' offense yesterday for the first half. I mean, remember, guys, they went into halftime 14-0. It's not like the game was put away at halftime.
What's up, Steve?
Only 2 scores away, but DeAndre Swift just wouldn't let them get back in that game. Those runs, he was the second touchdown run he had, man. I thought he was going to get tackled 4 times.
DeAndre Swift.
And then
DeAndre Swift was phenomenal yesterday. That was the best game DeAndre Swift has had as the Chicago Bear. I texted you guys that during the game. He was phenomenal. He was spectacular. Like the cutbacks, the intention, the burst through the hole. I mean, his vision was fucking great, as you said. Like, it seemed like he was dead to rights a few times, and he just made that little cutback very quick to the point and just ran straight the fuck ahead. Like he was breaking tackles, and he's always been he's had more power than any of us have ever wanted to give him credit for. This guy was running through people yesterday. I was so impressed by DeAndre Swift yesterday. He was my best player on the field. He looked like the best player on the field, Kyle. The entire game.
Bieniemy has made a major impact on him.
Amazing.
He has. Coaching has had a huge impact on this team overall, guys.
Swift looks better today. Swift looks better today as a running back than he ever has. Right?
Another thing that Bears continue to prove.
No, I don't think you are.
Another thing the Bears continue to prove week after week is that they can literally run the football on anybody. And if you can do that, you have a damn good chance of beating anybody in the playoffs because you're going to slow the game down. You know, the Rams want to score in 10 seconds. That's their forte. That's their identity. They want to score and they want to score in 10 seconds. If the Bears run the ball and you can't stop them, and the Rams have a damn good rush defense. They do. But if the Bears they ran the ball in Philly, they ran the ball on the Browns. If they can do that, they could probably run the ball on the Rams as well. If they can run the ball on anybody, they're going to be a damn tough team to beat the playoffs, especially if you have to go into their 10-degree house in January.
Yeah, the problem is that the Rams will probably be at home if the Bears get to that point. Like you're talking NFC Championship, maybe.
Well, the Rams have a tough game against. Listen, you guys, I don't know if you noticed or not, but the Rams. I don't know if you guys watched the game or not. The Rams-Lions game, but the Rams lost a lot of key pieces.
Devontae Adams went down in that game.
Puka Nacua left for a quarter.
Puka came back though and was fine. He was fine.
Yeah, but Puka's made of glass, bro.
They lost the big guy in the middle too on the defensive side.
Well, Braden Fisk left the game. Yep, he left the game.
Fisk did not look good. He was
yesterday was a terrible day for injuries across
I looked at Sean and I said, "This is the worst day of injuries I've ever seen."
It was unbelievable,
guys. For months, we've preceded everything we say about this Bears team with like, are they going to win a Super Bowl? No, like we're past that shit. Ben Johnson wants this. Kay wants this. This team wants this. This team can do anything they fucking want. Somebody put in the chat, they can beat any team in the NFL, and they can. You know why? Because God bless fucking Ryan Poles. This offensive line is just outstanding. It is so damn good. Every week, I'm like, this line could not play better than they do. And then the following week, I'm like, holy shit, they're playing better than they did last week. And it's just getting better week by week by week.
I've tried to make this point a few times, and like the Chiefs are done, guys. Like their dynasty is over this year, right? They're not going to the
time to retool.
They're not going to the playoffs, right?
Say,
but the Bears have a 10. The Bears have a
dynasty's over. I think it's a bad year.
Yeah, well, right now the dynasty is dead.
If you guys remember this, the same thing happened to Tom Brady.
Not the same thing necessarily. He got injured in the first game in the first career, in like 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, but it's still
Matt Castle played that whole season.
A little different.
And the Patriots dynasty continued. I'm not going to go.
That's not the point I was trying to make.
It's a bad year for the Chiefs, but I'm not saying the dynasty's over.
Okay, the Chiefs are out of the playoffs. Let's just say this: the Chiefs. Let me make my point by saying the Chiefs are out of the playoffs. The Bears are looking like they're going to be in the playoffs. And what's this one coincidental correlation that happened this offseason? The Chiefs traded Joe Thuney to the Chicago Bears for a 4th-round pick. This guy just plays in Super Bowls. That's like all he does. I don't think it's a coincidence that he leaves the Chiefs in an offseason. The Chiefs fall apart. Their offensive line is shit all year, guys. Patrick Mahomes has to scramble more than he's ever had to scramble in years. And the Bears are this successful. And as Brandon mentioned, this offensive line is one of the best in the league, and they get better every week. I think Joe Thuney has a huge deal
every week against the Browns. Against the Browns, Dustin, that was the best I've ever watched them. And they were the best I ever watched them last week against the Packers in the second half. And honestly, Drew Dahlman, my God. I texted you guys in that game. It wasn't, they're not going to call these guys out by name.
Sean and I were calling for Drew Dahlman for 6 months
Drew
before
Dahlman.
agency opened.
Nobody has any thoughts on my Joe Thuney theory. You guys think it has nothing to do
Joe
with
Joe Thuney, no, for sure.
Championship
and the Bears' success right now?
I don't think he is solely the reason why the Bears are good or why the Chiefs are bad.
No, but
I think he definitely has something to do with it. Obviously, you don't want to lose one of the best guards.
I just feel like it's never talked about high up on that list of what's going on with the Chiefs. And I think it's a lot higher up there than people give it credit for.
I think we can never quantify it, but I think
just like
Joe Thuney is
struggled since they lost their one of the best centers in football. Yeah, I mean it's
and their guard retired.
How important the offensive line is can't be overstated, man.
Joe Thuney is the best.
I'll say
Joe Thuney is still the version that he has been his entire career of himself when he's on the football field. But Dustin, yes, it's not quantifiable. The captain role that Joe Thuney's given and plays,
the leadership role,
is something that helps teams be more successful without a fucking doubt. Without a doubt. And Grady Jarrett on the other side. These two guys are what this football team needed. Yeah, sorry.
I just wanted to say to James, it wasn't a money thing because the Chiefs had no money and they re-signed a lot of key players. They chose to let Joe Thuney go.
And they made a terrible choice.
That was the player they chose.
Although Trey Smith's a beast. Trey Smith's a beast.
I think you choose Trey Smith over Joe Thuney. I think they made the right choice if they had to choose one of the two. But the Bears got Joe Thuney for a 4th-round pick because of that choice. And I think it negatively impacted the Chiefs in a major way because of that leadership. And I think it's positively impacted the Bears in a major way because of that leadership and also the ability. I said in the offseason when they made that trade, if Joe Thuney don't play a snap, if he just is a coach on the sideline, he's going to make a positive impact on this team. You got him playing all-pro caliber ball
it's like Grady Jarrett.
And being that leader.
Grady
exactly
Jarrett
like Grady Jarrett
the best player on the Bears to still have a positive impact on the Chicago Bears. I think he's a damn good players coach. I think Joe Thuney is as well. I mean, he's the only right now. He is the only Bear with championship caliber pedigree. Joe Thuney is the only. Joe Thuney is the Bear that people are going to look to when they make the playoffs and they go, "Oh my God, my heart's pounding. I'm so nervous. I'm shaking." And Joe Thuney's going to be like, "Hey, man, I've been here.
Ozzy, you're okay. I got your back. I got your back.
You do this
the
every
same
day.
shit you've been doing for the last 6 weeks, and we'll be just fine."
For the last
I love Joe Thuney. I love Jonah Jackson. I love Drew Dahlman. I love
shit.
Darnell Wright. I love this Bears offensive line. It's my favorite offensive line we've had since probably mid-2000s when Kyle Long was on the guard, or 2009, 2010. I think this Bears offensive line is one of the best in the NFL, and I think they still have room to grow. I think they're only going to get better.
Once Big Joe wins the Super Bowl with the Bears, which might be this year, Joe Thuney might be the Super Bowl good luck charm for whatever team he goes to. He says he will be only the second player in history to win the Super Bowl with 3 separate teams.
Does anybody know the first player?
I mean, Scottish, you throw that shit out there. That's your stat, man. Let's hear what you got. Oh, who are the first 2 guys? I'm trying to think.
This
but like
Kyle, this offensive line has transcended all expectations. I said they on paper. I thought before the season started, I said they were an 8 to 12 unit. They're clearly a top 3 unit in the NFL. And to Kyle's defense, what he's asked for years, Caleb Williams can be anything you fucking want Caleb Williams to be if this offensive line keeps playing the way they play. I mean, the progression of Caleb Williams is clearly coincided with the progression of this offensive line. He is able to play under
100%.
center. He doesn't have to do the magic stuff. And when he does, it's impactful now, guys. Remember early in the season, the hero ball was like, that's when he played. That ball was inaccurate. The throws were uncatchable. And now that this offensive line's given Caleb the ability to trust the pocket and stay under center, when he does get out, he's playing his best football again. And if this offensive line continues
Justin,
to
Matt
keep,
Millen.
Matt Millen is the other one.
when this offensive
He was a
line
terrible GM.
continues to progress,
That's for sure.
the Bears can't just beat anyone; they're better than them. That's how I feel about this Bears.
Yeah, and real quick, Steve. Once again,
Nice,
Packers fan,
Swaggy.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate you joining the show, Steve. We love you, man. But
He's been with us every show for like the last few since the
I'm
Packers
happy.
game.
I'm happy they're making the Packers favorites. I think that's only going to motivate the Bears. I think it's
They
only
were
gonna piss
favorites
them
against the Broncos in Denver, man.
I'm happy about it, man.
This
And
team just keeps getting the flowers.
I think Packers
They're good.
fans
They've been
are
good.
devastated. I know.
They should be. I'd be.
Oh, I know you have Packers friends. But like Kyle Harris texts me with a broken heart. I was like, well, it's done for the Packers. You guys losing Micah Parsons is absolutely. It's not just the fact that you're about to lose the play in the field, but I think emotionally that hurts the rest of the team as well.
The confidence that gives you knowing Micah Parsons is out there and he can get 8 to 10 pressures a game and make everyone's life easier. Even if he doesn't get the counting numbers, like he doesn't stack up the sacks in a game, he makes everyone around him better, Kyle. This Packers defense is completely different without Micah Parsons. What we've seen all year, we ain't going to see that on Saturday. They're going to have to figure some shit out, and it's going to be tough for them to figure it out that quick on a short week turnaround. It sucks that Parsons got injured. You don't wish injury on nobody. I saw you saying that earlier, Sean, but like you want to see these teams at their full strength and win it and earn that respect.
Yeah, I don't want to.
He's awesome.
That makes a huge impact in this game on Saturday.
He's a cool dude. I like everything about Micah Parsons. I have much respect to that fucking dude. That guy's awesome. I love Micah Parsons.
Sean, how do you feel about the Bears being underdogs?
I'm kind of surprised. I texted you guys in the group chat that with missing 6 players, including 3 Pro Bowlers, 2 All-Pros, the Packers are still favored to win the division, which is amazing to me that with all that impact, they're putting a lot on Jordan Love and thinking that Jordan Love is a guy that can get this team through. But, as I stated earlier, man, when this guy got the ball, a chance to win once again in a big moment against a good team, this is why everyone praises him when he beats these good teams that don't put pressure around him and he doesn't make mistakes. Well, guess what, guys? He had over 2 minutes, ball in his hand to take the Packers to win. He went 0 for 4, turned the ball over on 4 downs, throwing 4 straight incompletions. This is who this guy is. Can the Bears make him do this? That's a whole other question for Saturday night. Let's hope so. But again, he didn't get sacked to the fourth quarter. They started applying pressure on him late, going into the third, going into the fourth, and then all of a sudden the stacks started coming because he starts tripping over his feet. This is who this guy is. This is why I question if he'll ever be able to win a big game.
Sean, I don't think it's a betting app. I think it's like a statistics website. They were talking about 670. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but they're talking about 670. Those statistics websites have the Bears winning the division.
The Bears are getting a point and a half at home.
Sean,
the Bears are getting a point and a half at home
Vegas
right
now. Sean, I texted you this.
Vegas, I think so, but on those stats, those like they do the EPAs and all that shit. They have the Bears at 49%, Packers at 41%. And the
I did today, guys, really quick. I threw a $50 bet on the Bears plus 110 and the Houston Texans plus 125 to win their divisions together.
Okay.
So that Jaguars team looks damn good though.
Huh?
Mikey made the point.
Team looks damn good.
The Jaguars are
Houston and Jacksonville, I think, gotta play each other one more time.
Mikey made the point that there's no next man up for Parsons. Like there's nobody to replace.
No, you can't replace Parsons.
It's just impossible. That
still,
defense is
they still have some damn good
just a
defensive
completely
linemen.
different. They
Sean,
do,
we
but they're
texted-
completely different without him. Completely
We
different.
texted this last
They are
night.
in a world
That's
of
like
hurt.
replacing
They're in
Miles
trouble.
Garrett. Like that's not you're not
Yeah,
just going to
exactly.
replace
You can't
Miles
Well,
get
and
Garrett.
you guys also have to remember now, Rashawn Gary is going on. He's going into against the Bears here, his 8th straight game without a sack and without a tackle for loss. So if he doesn't get out
Keep
of
that
his
streak going.
that's even worse for the Green Bay Packers because he is one of the heartbeats of that defense. So some interesting things that are going to come out, man.
J2K, I agree, but Ozzy's looked pretty damn good at left tackle, man. I mean, listen, I don't think you've seen a finished product because he's so young and he still has so much to learn, and he's played such few snaps at left tackle. But since the Bears have put him in there, I know he's got a lot of help from the tight ends and running backs, but he's holding his own over there, man. He's
been fucking awesome, Kyle.
He's doing a pretty damn good
I
job.
am not concerned about the left tackle spot because the way he's playing right now, being thrown into it the way he was in the middle of the season, and he's just getting better every week. How does that not get better? When you talk about Caleb Williams progressing, you talk about DeAndre Swift, Kyle Monangai progressing, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, all these guys are progressing because of what we talked about earlier, the fucking coaching. It's spectacular coaching.
Oh.
They're developing these players. Ozzy's only going to get better. I don't know
Justin,
why you think you need a left tackle.
He's saying he is all in on him now. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's good.
J2.
I was just going off of what you were saying, Kyle.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Dustin. Like everybody else in the NFL,
It's not a concern
has room
anymore.
to grow, right? And they're going to only get better as the time goes on. The same should be said for linemen. I mean, they
100%.
They have to perfect their technique. He has to learn the more defensive schemes work, but how these guys are moving around. 100%, dude. Ozzy Trapillo, the Bears might have the entire starting offensive line set going into this offseason, which is great because then you don't have to spend a ton of draft capital or free agency cash on it. The Bears' holes are listen. I know this probably sounds like a biased Bears fan, but the holes I thought they had going into this season, I think they're starting to dwindle a little bit. I like DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. I like Ozzy Trapillo. I like if you could find a way to re-sign at least Kevin Byard. You only need one safety. We were sure they were going to go after two after the way that Kevin Byard finished last season. We thought for sure they were going to go after two. I think Kevin Byard's got another year left in him, and he's not crazy expensive by any means necessary. I think the Bears, like Brandon and Dustin and Sean have been saying for the last 6 months, the Bears should go all in on the defensive line. What's up, Lauren? Thanks for joining the show.
Thanks, Lauren. I'm starting to see it. I mean, I know he had a 35. I think it was a 35 grade for his true pass grade yesterday, but you got to look at who he was going up against. Myles Garrett makes a lot of people look like a fool. So overall,
Sean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but allowing Myles Garrett 1.5 sacks, I think is a good game. I think that's a good game, dude.
Yeah,
that's
he didn't get the sack record against the Bears.
It felt like two.
Well, and he should. And you know what? I don't understand. Maybe you guys could explain.
When he touched him,
why did he not get a sack for that?
Yeah, when he was laying behind the line and he touched him.
Where Caleb dives on the fumble and he's just laying there giving himself up. If Myles Garrett's the first player to touch him, he should get a sack because technically Caleb could get up and run the ball or throw it. So the play is not over.
No, he can't.
Yeah, he can.
T says nobody feels sorry
as
for
long
us
as
with
the
all of
fumble
our
doesn't
injuries.
go forward.
No,
yes, he can.
And I don't want anybody to feel sorry.
They considered him.
Hey, I don't feel bad for the Packers' injuries. The
Bears have missed the most games due to injury of any team this season, guys.
They said during the game they considered conceding. He gave himself up. Once you do that, you cannot get up and run again.
He should still get a sack because Caleb may have said the reason I'm going to concede and not get up is because I know Myles is right there. I saw him coming. He's right there.
Yeah,
there's no point in me getting up.
The point is, if Myles Garrett didn't touch him and he got up and ran, the refs would blow the whistle and tell him the play is dead.
That's fine, but I still think Myles Garrett should have got that.
This is a good point.
I don't want Myles Garrett to set the record on the Bears, but I still think he should have the sack.
On our show on Sunday morning, I just want to say this. I was asked about Myles Garrett getting sacks. I said I thought about this for him to get the record and how much he's going to beat it by. He has to average a sack and a half a game for me to think that he's going to beat. Because I think he's going to be by 4. He got a sack and a half in that football game. And I think that's what he's going to average.
He's an absolute monster. He's a monster. Yeah, I don't think there's any shame in allowing Myles Garrett 1.5 sacks. I don't think there's any shame in that at all.
Yeah, and you know what? If it was a fumble, I don't remember the play off the top of my head. So he wasn't the quarterback anymore.
Well, but he was fumbling because he was being sacked. Like it wasn't like he was just running and fumbled the ball. I don't know, man. Like it is what it is. And like Kyle brought up earlier, that calling the play dead when Shador was being sacked, that made no sense either. That was a clear fumble to me as well. Anything else on this game from yesterday that you guys?
Yeah, Cairo Santos sucks.
Well, you guys, there's one thing we haven't talked about.
We can
that's
have
been
a
brought up.
discussion about that.
One thing that hasn't talked about. Well,
Yeah, let's
there's
not
something else
bore
I
the
wanna talk
audience
about.
to death, but he
Not
sucks.
necessarily, but you guys, I know it's only one play, and he's been up and down since.
Oh,
he's been back.
yeah.
But the Jalen Johnson interception was absolutely awesome. I thought for sure that was a touchdown. I don't know about you
So
guys.
did
When
I.
I was watching the game, I'm like, that's a touchdown for Shearer Sanders. And that was a really nice pass. That was probably Shearer Sanders'
was.
best pass. But
That's what I
Jalen
said
Johnson
earlier.
just took that ball out of his hand, and to see Jalen Johnson now getting in on the fun, having interception, getting back to his true form. I'm telling you, man, this Bears defense is only
Jerry Jeudy
getting
was
better.
weak on that shit, though, guys.
He
Jerry
also-
Jeudy was
Dude,
weak.
I talked about Wednesday how
Fuck Jerry
Jerry
Jeudy.
Jeudy
He
sucks.
is
dude.
weak.
That
He's
sucks,
a
dude.
jag.
Yeah,
Guys,
that's what Steve Smith said.
You guys, I do want to talk about one thing though.
Jalen
guys,
Johnson.
can the Bears?
Sean's got a point on Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, please.
I was just saying he did it on 23 of 57 snaps. His snap count actually dropped from 66%, which it has been the previous 2 weeks, to 40% this week. So hopefully just keeping him fresh for the
Plus,
Packers.
man,
this week and making sure there's no injury.
that cold weather can't help injuries, man.
No, and you know what? I'm really happy you got these guys help because I don't want, and that's why I'm hoping Luther Burden's injury wasn't that bad because we're whooping their ass. There's no reason to bring him back into this game.
Yeah,
And
just let him rest.
Before we move on from Luther Burden, I already mentioned how fast his first quick step is, but my God, dude, does that guy catch the ball with purpose? And when he catches it, he has intent with that fucking ball, man. He is.
It's got
God,
eyes
he's
in the
gonna
back
be
of his
so
head.
good. He's gonna be so
The spin
good.
move that he caught that ball and spun on a dime before he even really had the ball
He's got eyes in the back of his head.
and then put that juke move on. I mean, him after the ball. But there's a stat on separation.
I was going to say, there's no way
scared
this
him
dude was a second round pick, and thank you Bears because I'll say it again. I'll say it every fucking week. He is the best receiver on the Chicago.
Sean, you got the
Bears.
video?
real quick,
Sean, you
let
got
me
the
read this.
video?
Let me
Which
read
one?
this real quick. Before you
Yeah.
do that, let me read
We
this.
have to pay.
Percent of targets receivers had at least a step of separation. Luther Burden is number one in the NFL going into this week at 85%. Zay Flowers right behind him at 84. Trey Tucker, 80.6. Amon Ross St. Brown, 78.8. Jameson Williams, 77.5. Luther Burden gets separation like crazy. He's
hold on.
got such a quick step.
No, that's staying with me forever. So everybody who passes upon me got to pay.
I love that guy. I love that fucking guy.
Guys, this question from V-Dog.
I never thought really quick. I never thought I'd love anything from Missouri, but Jesus,
Sean, remember the guy? Remember how I said the Bears were going to pick him at 39 in my mock draft before that? I was like just praying and hoping because like I couldn't believe that there was even conversation that he was falling into the second round. It made no sense, but I was like, okay, let's get him to the Bears because Ben Johnson was just talking about how important the slot receiver is in his fucking offense, and Luther Burden makes a whole lot of sense. And it's honestly like I can't believe like usually the Bears are drafting a guy and you're like, why the fuck are they drafting that guy? They rarely draft a guy where all the fans are like, we really want that guy. Yeah, it's very, very different. I want to get V-Dog involved because I haven't seen him in a bit, and I love that he always asks us questions and he puts a personal touch on it. But he says, hey, Dustin, I feel like Dennis, and we'll all answer this.
Thanks, T. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining
I feel
the show,
like
brother.
Dennis Allen has done an absolute masterclass with the defensive unit in its entirety, missing pretty much all of our fucking linebackers at any given point throughout the year, right? Pass rushers. I don't think he's got enough credit, is what V-Dog says. What do you guys think of that?
I think he's gotten a lot of credit. I don't think anybody in this coaching staff
Does he get enough?
Hasn't received credit. I think Dennis Allen does this, man. Dennis Allen has coached a lot of teams that were lacking. Kyle brought it up in a show really early, I think before the season started, that like he's had the best. Kyle, what was it? He had the best result with missing the most on a roster or something like. Remember that?
He's had the best.
He's overachieved the most. Basically,
he's the only coach to have a top 5 defense in the NFL without a double-digit sack guy, without a double-digit interception, or without a double-digit interception position group. Like it goes on and on and on, man. He had a ton of.
He's always been lacking the players via the GM, but he's made magic happen because he's just crafty. Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen are not all that uncomparable. This guy is very tricky, and it's not like Flores stuff where it's trying to deceive you before the snap. He's doing the shit mid-play. That's what's good about it. Dennis Allen is not trying to confuse the quarterback before the ball is hiked. once the ball is hiked, Dennis Allen's like, that's when we want to really get in somebody's fucking
You're gonna drop
head.
this guy in the coverage when he thought he was blitzing.
Yeah, and
You see a
that's the
lot of
way.
that from the
Yeah,
best
that's
defensive
the way
coordinators.
he kind of
It's
coaches.
confusing.
And he is. It is a masterclass because look at the interception DeMarco Jackson, whatever the guy's name is, tipped to himself. I mean, yeah, for sure. He puts guys in positions in which they'll succeed.
Yeah, let's get into more of these chats because I like all of them that are here. Sean, go ahead.
Let me touch on this. I wanted to
the Dennis Allen conversation is good.
Paul really took the words out of my mouth when it comes to DeMarco Jackson because I think the one guy people aren't talking about enough on this football team is Richard Smith. If you guys don't know who Richard Smith is, that's the linebackers
coach.
Yeah. To elevate every linebacker that's come onto this team has produced
more.
Well, yeah, he's gotten production as well. I mean, he's getting DeMarco Jackson.
Yeah, but DeMarco Jackson should be replacing Noah Sewell.
DeMarco Jackson was the highest rated Chicago Bear in that football
91.3 by PFF.
A tackle for loss.
Kyle, you asked the question. You asked the question a couple weeks ago.
Bamiga had a big game when he played too.
To answer V-Dog's. People should be talking about Richard Smith just a little bit.
For sure. And to answer, and this whole coaching staff, when you talk about the offense, you got to talk about Dan Rocher, and you got to talk about the guys underneath him, and you got to talk about Eric Harris. But to answer V-Dog's question in regards to, because Kyle asked this question a couple weeks ago, if Noah Sewell was healthy and he's back, would you start him over DeMarco Jackson? And I think all of us said no. DeMarco Jackson's been playing too well, and you got to let him earn it. And Dennis Allen has done exactly that. Dennis Allen said, this guy is playing well in my defense. Dennis Allen, going back to that Steelers game, he had no fucking linebackers and had to bring these guys up out of nowhere. And Ruben Hippolyte got injured immediately in that game on top of it. Yeah. And all these guys stepped up, and Dennis Allen has put them in position. And at the same time, what Ben Johnson has done all season, you said there's similarities, Brandon, between Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen. The biggest similarity is that the competition is legitimate. If you earn your spot, you keep it until you lose it. And if you lose it, it's because you are not performing. DeMarco Jackson has been performing, and Dennis Allen said, you're the right guy for my defense. But in terms of what he has done with all these injuries throughout this season, V-Dog, it's just fucking unbelievable. And no, I don't think he does get enough credit. I try to give it to him every week on the show when we talk about it, because as bad as the Bears defense has been, and I'll acknowledge that, they could have been way fucking worse if Dennis Allen wasn't coaching this defense, guys. Way worse. They to get those turnovers the way they do and get off the field on third down. It's impressive as fuck.
Yeah, here's another comment I'd like to address, guys. He says they need to keep drawing up plays for DJ Moore with all these receivers, or keep feeding him. Yeah, we talked about extensively last week about how does DJ have a spot in this offense. Ben came out and said we actually had the most plays drawn up for DJ, and for some reason the ball wouldn't find him. DJ was huge yesterday for the Chicago Bears, man. Every time Caleb was in trouble, the plays where Caleb was running out of the pocket and needed somebody to bail him out, he went to DJ Moore. And if that continues, guys, and then you start, Roman Dunze comes back healthy and Luther Burden's healthy, damn, the Bears are going to be tough to play in the playoffs.
You didn't even mention Colston Loveland, and you didn't even mention
I mean, obviously, the linebackers are getting better too. They're both getting better.
The DJ Moore thing better too. The DJ Moore thing is worth talking about, Kyle, because like you said, we talked about it last week, and it wasn't just us. It was every media outlet in Chicago was talking about this for the last couple of weeks.
Not me.
DJ Moore, well, the lack of targets and the lack of being included in the offense was apparent to everyone, and we're just like, why?
We know DJ Moore has his day.
We know DJ Moore is a damn good player. We've seen him be the number one receiver for this team, and he has it in him. So, like, to have him come out the way he did yesterday, it was very apropos for all of that, and it just made too much sense. And DJ Moore got the game ball, and good for him. And like you said, Kyle, and I've been saying this all fucking year and all offseason, there are too many weapons on this team to just count on one guy, which is a huge advantage for Ben Johnson when he's calling the offense, because the defense can't key on one guy. You can go key on DJ Moore now that he caught 2 touchdowns if you're the Packers, but Luther Burden, if he's healthy, he's going to get off. Colston Loveland's going to get off. Cole Kmet's going to get off. You can't double team or bracket a guy because there are just too many weapons on this team, and DJ Moore is a big part of that.
And it's worth noting that the Bears, when they're all on the field, obviously, guys, this gives this team an element that no other team provides in the NFL. But how luxurious is it where Luther Burden leaves a game and Rome Odunze can't suit up, and DJ Moore just lights a team on fire? This team has they have enough artillery to lose pieces and still be effective, and that is again Ryan Poles. When you had enough, you got more. and it's really having an impact with these
Ryan Poles
injuries.
and
Well,
Ben Johnson.
and I'll never say it's a good thing to lose anybody on your football team, guys. But I feel like every time the Bears are missing a pass catcher, just for a certain extent of time, even if it's for a couple plays, a drive, a game, I feel like I feel like because Rome Odunze's been out, DJ Moore is finally starting to find like his role in this offense. And then when Rome gets back, they can start complementing each other. But it almost felt like
And Colston Love
it felt like I don't want to make. I'm not harping on Caleb, but it felt like Caleb was almost forcing the ball to Rome sometimes because he was just like, just don't know where DJ's at. I don't know. But I think the more that Rome's out, when he comes back, these guys will all have pretty much set roles
because DJ will have that chemistry that he built with Caleb. Kyle, right? Because like that hasn't really been happening. That's why we were talking about it. But now DJ's able to build that chemistry with Caleb, and now Rome, we already know.
And now you
got your full complement of weapons. And as
Ben knows who should be on the field and two receiver sets, or if one guy's on the outside, or one guy's there. Ben knows who should be on the field and two tight end, one receiver sets, and three receiver sets. He knows which these guys are starting to find. Each one of these guys are starting to find their role. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think the Bears receivers give a shit about who has the most yards or the most touchdowns. I don't think they give a shit about it. I think they care about winning football games and going to the playoffs. I think that's what they want.
Sean, DJ Moore's your guy, man.
Never been worried about him. I was a little upset he hasn't been more involved, but I get angry when people talk shit about him. Just like, dude, DJ Moore's fine. It's been who he is.
I felt the same way
People made a big deal about him like last year. Said he had a poor attitude after he dropped the ball, but he did the exact same thing after he scored a touchdown. He went and sat on the bench by himself. It's just who the guy is, man.
I think, and people question his body language more than his attitude. He's always had a good attitude,
but it's never made sense to question his body language either, Brandon. Not to me.
I love DJ Moore. I was
addressed by their head coach, man.
Well, I was really starting to think, and maybe it could still happen that he gets traded for cap issues or whatever the case is. If you're set with Luther and Rome and you think you can get by without him with Loveland and Komet, I don't know.
He's most likely going to be a cap casualty, Sean.
And that sucks. I think it's a tremendous loss because I think with Rome most likely hitting the IR here. And he probably should have last week. Once again, I think just for all the good things the Bears have done, I think.
Thank you, Sean. The point you're about to make needs to be talked about.
Yeah,
I was talking about this with Jalen Johnson at the beginning of the year. It's been an issue all season, Kyle.
It's just a really weird, and you look at it. Look, man, I know the science of a stress fracture. I had one. It took almost 2 months, and I'm not a fucking athlete. Like, there's no way a professional athlete whose tools are his feet are healing from a stress fracture in 1 week to even have him practicing this week, I thought was criminal. I was texting you guys this. This is insane that this guy's even out here. It's a stress fracture in his foot.
And it's 3 degrees outside, dude.
And you have a lot of other weapons.
Like Kyler Gordon, they rushed back.
DJ Edwards, they rushed back. They rushed.
And Rome they had him out there, and then they pulled him out in the last second this past Sunday. It's like you got to protect these players from themselves. That's the point I made with Jalen Johnson. And Sean, you were kind of on the opposite side of that with Jalen Johnson, and I was kind of on the opposite side of that with Rome Odunze. It's like you got to protect these guys from themselves. They're all going to want to go. And I think this training staff and this medical staff has to do a better job.
They've dropped the ball. They've dropped the ball. They have dropped the ball.
I thought the Jalen Johnson
something that the Bears need to discuss in the offseason. You cannot push, like you guys just said. You guys, it's a winning team. They all want to be part of it. They all want to be in the field. They all want to be part of these wins and those locker room celebrations.
And they want their next contract or whatever.
They want 10 touchdowns and 1,300 yards receiving.
They hit those markers. Yeah.
But guys, at the end of the day, it's like it's up to the training staff and the coaching staff for them to be like, hey, listen, I know you want to be out there. I know it crushes your soul, but you're not ready. And we'd rather have you in the playoffs than not have you at all.
The betterment of the team in the future and your career in the future as well. And it just seems like there's a disconnect there more so than with a lot of other teams. Like, we know it's a thing in the NFL in general. Like, they've made movies about it. Like, any given Sunday, like the guys are going to play and you're going to try to, you want to protect them, but you also want to let that guy go out and make their money because that's an adult. Sean, you say you had a stress fracture. I've had fractures too, but you can also say an athlete can heal in a way different fashion than we can as well. That can work both ways. So there's got to be like this balancing act that you do, but at the same time, eventually you just got to put your foot down and say, man, you need to sit out the next couple of weeks because this ain't working.
the Jalen Johnson thing, I don't know. Are you talking about when he came back the second time, Dustin, with me?
No, I'm talking about the first time when he tried to push back in
the first time I wasn't aware that it was a full tear off the bone.
John, you're both talking about the Lions game.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't
talk about the Lions.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was a full tear off the bone. I just thought it was some kind of injury that he needed some time to heal from. If I would have known it was a full tear, my first question would have been, if the Bears knew this, why
the fuck is he on the field at all?
Surgery?
Yeah, why didn't he have surgery in the training camp? When they shut him down in training camp,
get it done as early as possible so that you can be back as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it was really the Jalen Johnson thing is really weird, and there's also a thing, like they said, like Ben Johnson said in his presser today. We're trying to save these guys from themselves. Maybe Jalen Johnson hit it, and he didn't tell the Bears. But you have to go through some kind of physical, I would imagine, in order to come to the start of the season. So
it's been strange with it, and as I said, the Bears have missed the most games of any team in the NFL this season. If you add all those up due to injury, and it's like, well, whoa. Yeah, it's a strange time to say that after he just got back. He just got an interception.
Oh, that's really only his major injury of his career, guys. He's been a pretty healthy player.
Jalen Johnson's a shutdown corner, guys. You don't replace guys like that.
The Chiefs aren't saying it's time to trade Patrick. The Packers aren't saying it's time to trade Micah. One injury, it sucks. It sucks that Jalen missed most of the season, but I think he'll ease his. Sean, I know you said his snap count dropped. I think he'll ease his way back into shape and back into true form.
Can we go back to Tom's comment, please? I thought this was a great comment. He says, can we take a moment or two to appreciate what Al Harris has done for us before he takes the Jets DC job? Everywhere he goes, he changes the defense into a turnover machine. He's got the turnover wall. I wanted Al Harris as the defensive coordinator when Matt Eberflus was still here, when he was with the Cowboys. I was stoked when he came here. I know Brandon was. You guys were. Al Harris is fucking awesome. Here's your moment, Tom, to appreciate Al Harris.
You know what? And there's I do agree. There's a damn good chance he's so not going to use Chicago Bears.
But Randall L too, man. Those two guys, they motivate me. But
really cool. Those two,
at some juncture, and I don't want to kill this audience. I don't want to kill our viewership here.
Jalen Johnson is a certified badass.
Is it possible, guys?
Get to the top.
That this Bears season,
certified badass,
ends either in the playoffs or to get to the playoffs? Is it possible this season could end on the foot of Cairo Santos?
No.
Guys,
no, because
let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about
we should. It's worth talking about.
But Tom Johns, this is a new member of the chat, right, guys? I've never seen Tom Johns
before.
I've never seen him before. Let's get him a clap. Let's welcome him to the group.
Tom's a big Jalen fan. He's a big Jalen Johnson fan.
Yeah. Let's see what this defense looks like without Jalen Johnson over the course of a season. That's right, Tom.
We get torched.
That like button.
He says
that subscribe button.
His follow-up comment. We'd get torched.
Brandon, the Santos thing you brought up last week, that they didn't go for the 58-yard field goal, and it's like the cold and played a huge factor, I think, in that choice. And yesterday, the cold was even worse. And you saw Cairo Santos on that extra point on the second touchdown. He fucking just barely blooped that thing in. It was very weird. You guys saw how that came off his foot? Yeah. And then the field goal comes, and I'm like, the way that extra point went, this is not a fucking gimme. It's cold as hell out there. That ball is hard as a fucking rock. And, like, you got to consider that when you're talking about these kickers. Now, do you want him to make those kicks?
No, we're talking about a season. You don't. You don't got to consider anything. We're talking about the duration of his season.
Brandon, let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. Do you want him to make those kicks? Yes, 100%. But a lot of times you talk about these kicks.
Do you trust him to?
This is just super easy. And it's not. You got to consider some of these factors as well. The weather factor could be important in the playoffs because the Bears could be at home. So I agree with you. It's concerning
to make the kick.
No. And I don't know that I would trust Moody as well if you want to go to that
inside
conversation.
The 35.
Right?
Well, he's gone.
But that kick that he just missed was inside the 35, But I think the weather played a big factor.
Wasn't he 80 for 80 or something before?
He's been fucking great in those moments, 100%. Like, that's why I'm saying the weather, I think, played a huge factor.
You're not getting a double doink vibe here at all.
No,
No,
I don't think so because this
Vernon,
offense is starting to get touchdowns.
I think Cairo Santos is a concern for the Bears, but not because inside the 40. Inside the 40, I think he's like 80 for 81 or something like that.
He's
like
been one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history.
But Vernon, the fact that you can't kick long field goals because you don't trust him to kick past 50, 55 yards when everybody other team in the NFL, you got these guys like Aubrey who are kicking 70-yarders. What's the guy?
Dallas doesn't even think about it.
Little on the Jaguars.
Like,
that guy in the Jaguars.
Aubrey missed 2 kicks last night, guys.
Well, listen, I'm just saying, but they're at least they're willing to take chances.
They're comfortable enough to kick
55 and 58 and 59 and 60. The Bears don't even consider it, and that is definitely competitive.
It puts you at a disadvantage.
Yes,
100%.
Kyle and I were watching
competitively.
Especially
with these kickoff rules now.
Had zero problems throwing Myers out for a 58 field goal.
58-yard game winner.
Oh, dude, the Colts kicked a 60-yarder before that to take the lead.
Get out there.
100%.
The Bears will never do that. Not in the
Bears are deficient at the kicker
dome,
position, Brandon. Yes, 100%. All I'm saying is that you got to consider some of these factors with these kickers. He's been pretty money from that spot. I think he missed that because of how cold it was. But yes, to answer your question, Brandon, I am concerned with Cairo Santos, and I think a lot of Bears fans are in general because you are at a disadvantage because of the lack of power in his leg. When it comes to accuracy within a certain mark, though, he is pretty money, as Kyle points out.
He is good within the 40. But here's the problem. Brennan, you remember when Jonathan Kim was part in the training camp, and Sean and I were at training camp. The guy was kicking 60-yarders. They were going over the net behind the upright. And people didn't even consider that a competition. They were like, oh, that guy's just here in case Cairo gets hurt, or they don't want Cairo to get hurt, so he's just taking kicks. I think it should have been a competition. I think there should be more.
It should have been a competition with Moody.
Kyle, yes. My text about Cairo to you guys was loyalty and trust took precedence in this decision. And the guy, it might, and I'm not speaking this into existence, that might bite you very hard.
I agree.
In the ass
I agree.
Day,
It could. If you burn it, the only way it bites you in the ass for me though is not with if it's a 34-yard field goal.
You can't kick along.
It bites you in the ass if there's 4 seconds left in the game and you need a 50-yard field goal.
If you're in a close game at the end of the game, with the way these kickoff rules are, you're starting in almost.
That's 4th and 13, and you're not going for it, and you need a 50-yard field goal. The Bears can't kick that. They got to go.
You see the Dallas Cowboys. Guys brought up Aubrey. When they get the ball at the 40 after a good kick return, they are operating as if they already have points because of these new kickoff rules. Like as soon as they get the ball on the kickoff return, they're like, okay, we're already in range. The Bears don't have that, and that puts them at a
no. And Kyle, you talk about like the necessity of going for it on 4th down instead of taking a 58-yard field goal. What if the Bears are in position with 4 seconds left to win the game on a 58-yard field goal? That's what fucking concerns me about this guy.
Cairo Santos out there?
Yeah, I just said that.
That's what concerns me about this guy.
It sucks
because you're not throwing a Hail Mary on that.
Kicking a field goal and they're going for a Hail Mary or something. That sucks. That's
Paul says DeAndre Swift is the most slept-on player on the offense. Me and Kyle, I said he was the best player on the field yesterday. I don't know if Kyle agreed with me. I believe yes, Caleb Williams was thrown out there. Obviously, that's an easy one. But DeAndre Swift was the motor to that engine. So Paul,
the enemy.
And he helped Sean. I
said the enemy made him.
Sean's about the
I said the enemy.
Really
Paul,
quick.
Paul, I think the enemy's made him the best running back he's ever been. I'm not talking about like the versatile player that was the pass catcher and running back mix in Philly. I'm talking about like as a pure running back. The enemy has made DeAndre Swift the best version of a pure running back he's ever been in the NFL.
Of himself, in general.
Really quick, guys. For Cairo Santos, dude, regular season, he's at 85.3%. 2020 to 2024 with the Chicago Bears, 90.2%, 101 for 112. In 2020, he set the Bears' single season record with 93.8% field goal accuracy. 2020, it says.
Yeah, he's been here a long time. Man.
He's the longest tenured Bear, I believe.
50-yard field goals. 50-yard field goals, my friends. 72.7%, 24 of 33 with the Bears. It says making him a 50-yard plus specialist. Sorry.
Yeah, but Sean, what's the longest?
It doesn't say. It says
I think his career long is 58, guys. I think it is 58, which is
how many over 55 is what I want to know. How many over 50? Because 52 is pretty standard in the NFL nowadays, guys. That's like almost a gimme.
Was he like 60%, like 6 of 10?
In his postseason career, he's 7 for 7 all time, and the NFL average to this date for field goals over 50 yards is 70 to 76%. in which the range in which he falls in.
Yeah, but Sean, if you knocked off the 100 years before the last 5, it would be like 85% of kickers kick 50-plus yard field goals.
Look,
So the duration of time, those field goals are awful.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon, I just want to make
Bobby
clear.
Gold's on my wall of fame.
I wasn't trying to defend Cairo Santos, but
no, I know. I think we all agree.
Acknowledge the weather and how that played a factor in that kick.
Yeah, but we all agree it could bite you. He can bite you. Cairo Santos might bite you.
Sean, let me ask you though, Sean. After all those,
Odie Parkey did.
Sean, after all those numbers, the Bears are in a position. There's 4 seconds left in a playoff game. If they have a 50-yard field goal, they have to kick a 50-yard field goal in order to win the game. They have 4 seconds left, so it's Hail Mary or 50-yard field goal. How do you feel about Cairo Santos then?
You got to go for the kick.
You have superior confidence.
I'll say this, Kyle.
Field goal?
Cairo Santos' career long is 57 yards. He made that kick for the Chicago Bears.
Yep. Okay, I thought it was 58 right there. Yeah,
I'm with you, Kyle. I don't feel good about it. Yeah, I don't feel good about it.
55 and 54 yards.
I can't describe you the pit I would have in my stomach if Cairo Santos had to come out for 57, which is as long. Had to come out for 56.
I would not feel comfortable
for a 54 as Tom
John, for a 50.
And Kyle, and you know,
I'd be shitting fucking.
And you know what's sad about it? You know what's sad about it? I think he'd be within the uprights and fall short. That's how I see Cairo Santos missing that 58 yards.
I honestly expected him to miss that field goal yesterday, guys. The way he had kicked that last
and to answer your question, at this point in his career, Kyle, no, I would not feel safe. I don't think he has the leg, although that was someone pointed it out that 57-yarder was in a Bears preseason game this year, and that is his career long. So
yeah, and the weather was beautiful. And but Sean, if the Bears came out in the offseason, Ryan Poles says, "Hey guys, we are looking to upgrade the kicker position." Are you shocked?
Okay with it?
Are you like, "Oh my god, I just went over all these numbers. He's the most accurate kicker in Bears history." Yeah, inside the 40.
The only thing
I'd be like, you should.
The only thing I love Cairo Santos for is beating the goddamn
Packers. Yeah, he beat the Packers, and I will always remember that. That kick was kind of sketchy. That kick was kind of sketchy. That to beat the Packers
captain. There's only 4 of them. He's one of them. Being a captain means something to me. He's a captain.
But
I like Cairo.
But at the same time, the contract extension for Cairo Santos to box yourself into this
that was a little sketchy.
That's the worst personnel decision on this team right now. If you're talking about the offseason moves the last couple of years that the Bears have made, that was
Deo.
Okay, there you go. It's right there. Those two are right there. Like I didn't understand why they extended them. Why you box yourself in with this kicker that puts you at a disadvantage when you can see around the league that trend is changing and these kickers can boot it across the fucking field.
Dustin. I like Cairo a lot. All I was saying in the offseason when they brought Jonathan Kimmin is I was like, oh man, it's nice to see the Bears aren't going to get rid of run away from a competitive advantage. Listen, I understand you like the guy, Ryan. He's a nice guy. You signed him. He's been here for a long time.
High character guy.
But that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this is a business. It's not a charity. You need to have every competitive advantage. If Dustin, like you said, you saw the rest of the league was like, man, we're finding these kids in high school and college who are kicking 70-yarders. It seems like that's kind of the way this is going.
They're soccer players and shit.
Then why are the Bears like, oh, but we're okay with our 45 to 50-yard kicker who we're not ever going to let kick a 50-yarder in the middle of a football game.
I've mentioned it a couple times now, and like this is the biggest deal about it. I think those new kickoff rules change this completely. Teams are basically in field goal range after the other team kicks off the ball. Like if you knew that going into the season, it's like I would want more leg from my kicker, knowing this kickoff rule is going to change the game so much.
And it's worth mentioning the guy who went 8 for 9 with a block on this team, 8 for 9, and the miss was a block, was drafted in the 3rd round because he's got a monster fucking leg.
Vernon, do you want to hear some really crazy shit?
He's got a monster leg. That's why Moody was drafted as high as he was, because he's the 65-yard kicker that you wanted.
You guys can look this up.
But his accuracy was suspect.
Did you guys know that at the exact same moment Cairo Santos was missing that field goal, Jake Moody was kicking the same distance field goal and making it? Did you know that? At the exact same moment. They kicked it at the same exact time.
That's like
it doesn't shock me. Maybe the guy. Listen, man, I believe in this firmly. It happens every once in a while. It's a baseball thing more often than not. Sometimes the guy just needs a change of environment. And Moody was a 3rd round pick because he had the fucking leg. And Ryan Poles landed gold. He came here and kicked 8 for 9 with a time expiring game winner. the one miss he had, he was blocked. Yes, I'll give him
Well,
that. That's
Moody's
on
had
him.
an awful lot of change of environment
but-
this year, man.
But well, yeah, but he
changed
was
environments
doing
a few times.
he was doing what you would expect a guy to do who you was drafted in the third round if you signed him just to throw. Like he was making the kicks.
I was with you, Brandon. I would have kept him over Cairo.
And the
when we
guy
had
can
him.
kick.
I
The guy can
would've,
kick
but
65 fucking
they
yards.
made the
It's
choice
like,
they made, and again, once they gave Cairo that extension, and that choice was already made before it was even a choice. Once you pay the guy, you're not gonna get rid of him and keep the guy you signed off out of free agency, off
or
of
waivers.
Yeah. Too bad we can't find a kicker like Eddie Pinheiro.
Too bad we can't find a kicker like Jake Moody, because that's a shame. Like,
and Jed wants Santos to start taking steroids.
Well, Sean, not a good.
well, he's just getting
drive
older
age.
too. So
I'm trying to watch.
Not only did he have a catch for -1 yard, but it looks like he got a little banged up on it.
Are we really interested in
I
Kyle? You got Darren Waller going against me. If he scores like 18 points, you got me.
He ain't scoring 18 points, bro.
I don't
Well,
count
Dustin,
away.
you know what?
game with two touchdowns.
Dak Prescott sucked ass last
Dustin,
night.
my dumbass should have. I didn't realize that
Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt.
Chris Rodriguez was out.
Yeah. When
But
you didn't
you know
put
what?
in him, I was.
But
like,
I would have put.
I don't think it would have made a difference.
I know, because I would have put Krosky-Merritt for Bailey, not for Manungai. I would have put him for Bailey, so it wouldn't help.
And you weren't starting Manungai for most of the week, and I was like, "What's he doing here?" But Manungai ended up not really doing much.
I was just gonna start Manungai until the end of the season, man. He had touchdowns in five or six games. I'm like, my
dumbass dropped him, so you could pick him up.
You guys want to dive into the NFC rankings a little bit?
Hold on, really quick before we move on from this weekend. There's just three things actually. Number one is, if no one can believe this, which I'm sure you will, I'm just trying to find this to make sure I'm accurate here. But DJ Moore, in his entire NFL career, this is the first time he's playing on a winning team. That has to feel spectacular.
It's the first time he's gotten to 10 wins. Yeah,
it's the first time he's on a winning team. He's always been on a loser. He's never.
He said specifically first time the 10 wins yesterday.
Yeah, but it's also you're both as true. He's also, this will be the first time he will finish on a team that has a winning record, not 500 or below 500.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that was as of their 9th win.
Now, so the Chicago Bears have scored 365 points this season. The last time they scored 400 was 2018. That was 421. 85 is their highest scoring season in franchise history. That's currently 456. I don't know if they're going to score just 90 points and break that record this year, but I do have a feeling they're going to jump into second place in this season. And Caleb Williams, with his 6,691 career passing yards, has now passed everyone's favorite, Justin Fields. And he is only, believe, he's 421 passing yards away from moving up to number 9 to replace everyone's other favorite. If you guys don't know him, look him up, because he was a gem, Bob Avellini.
Yes. So, and also another Caleb stat to throw out there, because this has been thrown out there. Highest passing touchdown to interception ratio since merger, minimum of 1,000 attempts. Aaron Rodgers number 1 at 4.3. Caleb Williams number 2 at 3.4.
So,
also the least amount of interceptions in the first 1,000 pass attempts, like Brennan said.
Yes, Caleb is the guy, guys.
I still don't know why.
Let's
James
not talking about completion percentage, maybe.
This fraud shit.
I still expect that to go up.
Caleb's awesome.
James ain't gonna ever come off of that, Sean.
Caleb is
that's kind of his thing. It's okay.
I mean, you're watching.
I don't want to get into this whole conversation, guys. But how anybody could still? I mean, Ryan
Poles is going to win GM of the year.
He's got a good shot.
You guys, his first nobody really knows because there's so much speculation around it. But either his first contract was either 4 or 5 years. I think most people. I think it was supposed to. We were told it was 4, but it was actually 5.
I think.
But either way. He's still in the first 4 years of his first contract, and his team is 10-4. They gave him 4 or 5 years to make this team good. So he's not even in the last year of the contract. He's still in the 4th or 5th 5 years, and to make this team good, and they're 10-4. I mean, he did exactly what the Bears asked him to do: get rid of every Ryan Pace player, get rid of all the dead cap, and then go build us a good team. And that's exactly what he's done.
Yeah,
exactly
and
what
he just
done.
had. Had his best offseason as the general manager.
But he kept the Ryan Pace player that he should have, too.
Two of
Give him
them.
credit for that. He got Jalen Johnson
and
locked up.
Cole Kmet's had a great year for the Bears. I know you look at it statistically, you're not like, oh my God, Cole Kmet's awesome.
No, Cole Kmet, listen.
Cole Kmet's doing a
He's
lot
been
of
invaluable for this
Let's
team.
dive into that real quick. Guys, this cannot change. Like when Cole Kmet got injured, I was like, oh fuck. This 2 tight end thing is starting, and they were talking about it. I can believe those two suck. Whoever was commentating that game,
Daryl
they were
Johnston and the other
Oh,
guy.
God.
Daryl
Yeah.
Johnston's done
Johnson's
like
terrible.
Daryl Johnston's done
Fucking
every
ass.
Browns game this year. That
Yeah.
tells you how good he is at his
He
job.
sucks.
but they were talking
like
about the
punishment
dynamic,
from the NFL.
and they were talking about it after Cole Kmet had made a play. They were talking about how much Cole Kmet has grown. It's the expectation of Colson Loveland have overshadowed Cole Kmet, but he's still grown as a player in his own right. And these two are really you can see it, guys. The thing that Ben Johnson was envisioning, it's becoming
The
very
12-man
much
personnel
a
is starting to
fucking
work
problem.
very
And
well.
they're
Cole
both
Kmet certainly
they're
should
both
be $9
killing
million
it.
player, but he's
And
a
Cole
damn good
Kmet's
player.
had a couple of hand catches this year. Like they're killing it.
He just can't
And
do anything after the
They
catch.
can't. They
That's
can't.
just
They
really what it
can't.
is.
They cannot lose one of these guys right now. The wide receiver thing to me, I think the Bears can survive that. I do. These two guys got to stay on the fucking
The
field.
way the Bears have played
They-
this year,
they
I
do.
wouldn't be surprised if Durham Smythe steps in for one of those tight ends if they go down and he starts going off. I really
I
would.
like
The way
Smythe,
Ben
man.
Johnson,
I love him as a
Yeah.
blocker. I do.
Yeah,
I
but
like
Smythe
Smythe,
has
man.
2 drops and 1 catch. That's not good.
Guys, this
But-
question from B Dog is a good one. This question from B Dog is a good one. He says, "Curious everybody's view. Do y'all agree with Colin? Colin Cowherd this morning said it. Despite the deficiencies on defense from a pass rush perspective, the defense and the offensive stats rank at the top and says we're a Super Bowl threat.
No doubt about it.
We are 100% a threat to get to the Super
for 2
Bowl
reasons.
out of the NFC.
For 2 reasons,
Yes.
B-Dog. The Bears are a good team and they're only getting better. And they proved for the last 2 weeks or 2 of the last 3 weeks beating the Eagles and Browns. They didn't just beat them; they beat the shit out of them and they controlled their line of scrimmage, which is huge in the NFL. That's one reason why the Bears are Super Bowl contenders, because they're just a damn good football team. Number 2 is there's just not that many teams in the NFL right now that you would look at. I guess maybe the Rams, maybe the
Broncos,
maybe the Broncos. Outside of that, there's no team where you're like, that team is definitely going to be.
I'll tell you who I'm worried about down this stretch.
And
I'm worried about the
worth
Buffalo
mentioning-
Bills. I'm worried about
Yes,
the Buffalo
am I. I said that
Bills
to Sean.
a lot.
Josh Allen's about to make the playoffs without
worried
the threat
about-
of
I'm worried
Lamar
about the
Jackson,
Ravens.
Patrick
I'll be
Mahomes,
honest.
Joe Burrow. It's just going to
Lamar
be Josh
Jackson.
Allen.
I think
Lamar
the Bills are going to win
Jackson.
the Super Bowl, guys.
Lamar
I think
Jackson
so
is-
too.
are
I
gonna win
think
the
so
Super
too, and
Bowl.
that's who I picked
Yeah.
before the season. I think the
Yeah.
Bills are winning. The
I
Super
think you
Bowl.
might be
I
right
agree.
about that.
I agree.
Lamar Jackson's going to be
I
in
said
the
that to Sean
playoffs.
on
But
Sunday during the game.
and another thing that we
Hard not to
Listen.
think that.
another reason this Bears team is so fucking good, and a lot of people throughout the last couple of weeks, the recent weeks, have kept saying it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. These guys have 30 takeaways. This is beyond sustainable. It's the way they
It's
play
their
football.
identity.
It's the
their
way
identity.
they're coached.
Yes.
It's the
Yes.
way they're ingrained.
You
It
saw
is in them.
the takeaway wall.
They give up big plays. Why do you think this Bears team gives up big plays at a high rate? Because they're willing to take risks, and they do at a really high rate, and they're efficient.
I think it's a combination. I think the Bears defensive coaches understood that they had some deficiencies, and they're like, we're going to really focus on this to make up for some of those deficiencies, Brandon. I don't think that they're giving up big plays just because they take chances. I think they're giving up big plays because they're deficient in some of those defensive
It definitely makes an impact,
talents,
without a doubt.
to be honest. It does. I think, but it's a counter to those deficiencies.
Like Nashawn Wright allowing the most touchdowns while having the most interceptions kind of just exemplifies that in its entirety. You take risks and you take chances, and sometimes it leaves you in the dust. But if this Bears defense is built on taking the ball away, those risks are obviously more rewarding than not.
Sean,
can I go off subject just slightly, Kyle?
Yeah.
They awarded Woody Marks a touchdown. I just got 6 more points in a stat correction. Apparently, he scored the touchdown to make it 17-0. That was not on the stat sheet yesterday.
He only had 1 touchdown yesterday, right?
He got hurt.
Sean, I was
that
wondering.
touchdown came true yesterday.
Sean, I looked at your team today and I was like, Woody Marks had 17 points before you left the game.
Dude, they did not. He had 4
Justin,
points.
when Sean showed me yesterday,
What
in
format
CBS,
were you using?
CBS.
CBS sucks ass, dude.
They did
Yahoo
not
had
have
that
it.
touchdown right off the bat. I have Woody Marks on my other team in Yahoo. That touchdown came through right off the bat.
Yeah, they did not award him those
CBS
points
sucks.
in CBS.
Sean, I want you to throw up that NFC leaderboard again, please, because this question is an important one to talk about. Bigger picture stuff with this Bears team. Are they a Super Bowl contender? When you look at these teams, the Rams are 11-3. The Eagles, the Bears already beat, but the Eagles are still a tough team. They're still the defending Super Bowl champions. The Bucks, no, not really. Seattle, 11-3, really fucking good. San Francisco's defense is playing lights out without most of its key players. I don't understand it, but Robert Saleh is the best defensive coordinator in the NFL right now. Green Bay is 9-4-1, and they just beat the Bears. The Bears have a shot to beat any one of these teams, but the NFC is very fucking tough. These NFC playoffs are going to be insanely competitive. I am excited for it. I'm excited that the Bears might even have a chance to be in that dance. But of course, they can beat any of those teams, especially if they play their first game at home and have a chance to get to the NFC Championship going through Chicago before they have to go on the road. They have to hold on to this number 2 spot, guys, right? Like they have to hold on to this to have that competitive advantage over a team like the Seahawks or the 49ers, in my mind. Like if you get one of these teams coming to your house, you have the clear advantage. But the Bears can beat any one of these teams.
I think because of Caleb Williams, I'd still think the Bears are better than 90% of those teams on the list. I do, because I think Caleb Williams is quickly becoming a top 3 quarterback in the NFC.
He's better than Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I would rather play at home. I would rather play at home. I'd rather play at home, but I think Caleb could beat anybody, anywhere.
And this team is well coached, and they never give up, and they hang in every fucking game. They've won games in all different kinds of ways. They have the formula to win whatever kind of game you want to play. That's what makes them competitive against these teams, Kyle. The Bears can run with you. The Bears can throw with you. The Bears can win the turnover battle. The Bears can win the time of possession. The Bears can out-coach you. Ben Johnson has out-coached some of the best coaches in the league this year as a rookie head coach. That's why the Bears can compete and beat any of these teams in the NFC.
Yeah, I just want to say though, Jed said if the Bills have one of those worst rushing defenses in the league, and the Bears are winning that matchup in the Super Bowl. Well, just so you know, the Patriots rushed for like 200 yards. Trevor Henderson had like 250 or 150 himself, and the Bills won because they have Josh Allen.
The Bills were down 14-0 in that fucking game.
They're 21-0.
21-0 in that game.
And I looked at Sean and said the Bills.
Josh Allen is completing like 85% of his passes in the fourth quarter. It's insane.
Sean, did I not? When they were down 21-0, I looked at Sean and said, Sean, the Bills are going to win this game. They're going to come back and win this game. They're going to make a statement right now. They're going to make a statement to the entire NFL right now. You guys been dogging on us all year, saying we're not the same old Bills and not the same Josh Allen. Well, guess what? They're the same old Bills with a damn good running game and James Cook and a Josh Allen combined. And Josh Allen is still Josh Allen. He is still Josh Allen.
D-Dog, I would choose Caleb Williams over Sam Darnold.
Kind of to that point.
But Sam Darnold can play. Sam Darnold can play in these games.
You know what? Who can play as long as it's not a big game against a good
Sam
team.
Darnold falls in line with this conversation too, because Kyle just like Josh Allen.
Yeah, Caleb's better than Sam Darnold.
And I'm going to say it, guys, and I'm not trying to instigate anything. The Lamar
is that a question?
The Lamar Jackson conversation. These guys,
better than Lamar Jackson,
Joe Burrow. Every one of these guys at some point this year has been called like finished or like, oh, he's just not the same. Like Josh Allen, he's not the same guy. What you can't take a person's entire career, body of work, and then they have like a 3-game skid, and you're telling me this Hall of Famer is not the same fucking guy. Like it's
Lamar is not the same guy this year. That is fucking.
Well, Lamar looked pretty Lamar in the last week.
He's got an MCL sprain and a broken foot. Plantar fasciitis.
Nobody loves Lamar,
and he played pretty damn good.
He's been off this whole year.
Tell he's hurt, man. He ain't running. He ain't running. He's not running the ball. That's
he murdered the
Ravens in the past and the Ravens now. They're not. Lamar Jackson is not a threat to run the ball. That changes the whole dynamic of the Ravens offense. It changes everything about them. Everything. It actually makes Derrick Henry worse. It makes Derrick Henry worse because now if Derrick Henry's on the field, you could stack the box and you don't have to keep the spy on Lamar Jackson. You can
Lamar's
keep your eye on Derrick
Lamar's a hell of a passer though too.
Guys, let's go. This was a good conversation, I think. Is Caleb better than Matt Stafford?
Yes. No.
Caleb's better than Matt Stafford?
No, not right now. No.
Is Caleb is better than Jalen Hurts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Caleb is better than Baker Mayfield?
Yes.
Yes. Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love.
Yes.
Caleb is better than Jordan Love.
As of right now, Caleb Williams.
Conversation.
As of right now, Caleb Williams to me is the second best quarterback on this list. That's just me.
And Ben Johnson, is he a better head coach than Sean McVay?
No.
Is he a better head coach than Nick Sirianni?
Yeah,
He already outcoached him and beat him.
Can't say.
I don't know, man. I mean, the guy
He
has
already
been 2
outcoached
Super
him and beat
Bowls
him
in
this
3
season.
years. Probably, but Philadelphia has a better roster.
Is he a better head coach than Todd Bowles?
Yes.
What about Mike McDonald?
Yes.
I don't know. Mike McDonald's established
damn good
himself
coach.
as a
Mike
really,
McDonald has one of the best
really
defenses in
good
the
football
NFL. Without
coach.
one of the best defenses in the NFL, that offense is a joke.
No,
Okay.
Dustin was on this man early. Mike McDonald has established himself as one of the best coaches.
I would take Ben Johnson over him, but yes, I've been on Mike McDonald and I was on
His
this
roster is not as good as his
The
record.
only two
I'll tell
coaches
you
on
that right
the only
now.
two coaches I'm taking.
Shanahan.
Shanahan's better than Ben Johnson right now.
Shanahan and
right
McVay
now.
have the advantage.
Shanahan's going to make it to the playoffs with missing 18 starters.
All of his key players. It's crazy. And then Matt LaFleur, I think he kind of outcoached Ben Johnson in that game, but I think Ben Johnson kind of did it to himself.
Well, and you also got to consider the trajectory of Ben Johnson. Like right now, is he better than Sean? I think Sean McVay this year is the best coach in the NFL.
I think coaching O-line, quarterback, those are the three most
just
important
be the
things
best
in these
coach in the
conversations. And I think the Bears have a better O-line than all of those teams. I don't think we even need to roll through that. We think that Caleb is better than every quarterback but one in the NFC right now. And we think Ben Johnson is a better coach than every team but two in the NFC right now in terms of that playoff picture. So yes, the Bears have a chance to beat any of those teams and go to the Super Bowl. And that is crazy to say. I would never expect myself to have been saying that at this point in the season. The Bears can go to the
as long as Caleb Williams is healthy on the Chicago Bears, they could beat any team on any given Sunday because Caleb Williams is Mr. Clutch.
That gave me a heart attack. Kneel the ball.
He is the most clutch quarterback in the NFL. And if you ask me, in the terms of third down and fourth quarter, nobody does better than Caleb Williams. Who does it better than Caleb Williams?
Jordan Love with the cheesehead.
Maybe Mahomes, but he's out.
Yeah, and that was a very Mahomes-like play that Caleb made.
He's been very Mahomes-like when it comes to the fourth quarter, guys. Mahomes,
That's
if you give Mahomes 10 seconds to win the game, he's going to win the game. You give Caleb 10 seconds to win the game, he's going to win the game.
Did you guys see what Kyle Long said on his podcast? He was talking about when he was in Kansas City, and it was a very cold, windy day, and he went to Mike Kafka, who was the quarterback coach at the time, and he said, are we going to be changing our game plan today? Maybe running it a little more, given these weather conditions. And Mike Kafka looked at him and said, are you fucking kidding me? Look at that guy over there. And he's like, number 15's over there warming up. He's like, that guy can throw in fucking anything. That guy can throw right through this wind. We have that quarterback. And we have him in Chicago, where a lot of guys are going to come here and they don't have the arm talent to throw in that weather like Caleb did yesterday.
Well, yeah,
Caleb gives you a huge advantage.
J2K said something.
Huge advantage.
The cold weather knocks off like 5 to 6 yards or something he said off a kick, but I would imagine it treats the throw the same way.
But not for Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams can throw in that shit, and he showed that yesterday. That was important. That was one more point I wanted to make, guys. Brandon, you were talking about run the ball yesterday, and the Bears were Well, I mean, during the game, when you're like, why aren't you running the ball there?
Yeah,
and Ben was calling pass plays because the Browns had shown that they weren't good enough to make you pay, and Ben was playing the long game yesterday. He's looking down the line at the playoffs and what is Caleb Williams going to have to do for me in key moments down the stretch, and how much trust can I show I have in Caleb Williams in this game to let him throw the fucking ball and take some chances. And he did just that. I thought it was ingenious. He went the exact opposite way of what I would have done. I would have just run the ball, got the win, and got out of there. He said, I'm going to use this as a learning moment for my young quarterback and help him get better and build confidence going into a playoff run. Ben Johnson is a fucking genius, guys. A genius.
Sean, what are you doing?
I will say this.
Watching fantasy.
The one thing that bothers me, about that game yesterday was Kyle Monangai in passing situations on third down.
Dropping the ball twice.
Twice. Dude, you have a pass catching back. That's what he calls that. He's good in pass pro. It makes absolutely no sense. And we all talked about it in the chat. If he catches that ball on the first drive, he might have housed that. There was nobody in front of him but open grass. Just absolutely.
That was the touchdown,
asinine. Just absolutely asinine.
And you're trying to catch you're trying to catch the defense off guard, Sean, because they would expect that from DeAndre Swift more so than Kyle Monangai. If Kyle catches that ball,
expects that from you.
Kyle, he didn't.
Yeah, he needs to.
I don't disagree with you. I love Kyle Monangai, but DeAndre Swift is a better running back.
We talked about it on that show.
He's a better player than Kyle Monangai.
100%.
Eric Bieniemy expects you to catch the ball, without a doubt. Every running back this guy has ever coached,
but
every running back this guy has ever coached has said he made me catch the ball. He made me catch the ball. That's what Adrian Peterson said.
Oh, Sean just dropped off. Brandon, do you see what I'm saying with Kyle? Do you see what I'm saying with how Ben Johnson approached that game plan
Sean's
yesterday?
back. Hold on,
with
Sean,
what he was thinking long term.
Yes,
it was
go ahead.
It was fucking completely.
That was
I was just so
Caleb
impressed by that.
Best game as a professional guy.
To put the ball in Caleb's hand in that game. And he did it with very little at stake because the Browns were not going to beat you. They showed that very early on.
Ask Sean my reaction with that throw to DJ Moore in the back. It was
a great use of a bad team.
I'm like Sean. I have never seen anything like that in my entire life, dude. That had to be the tightest window, and this is before they showed the replay. I'm like, that had to be the tightest window any quarterback has ever thrown into in the history of
the worst platform ever.
Off platform running,
jumping.
Right.
He jumps. He throws that ball in the air, dude. In the air.
In that weather,
both legs
guys,
off the air, bro.
Negative 20. Negative 20, negative 17 field.
Watch his jump. Both his feet leave the ground, guys. Both his feet left the ground when he made that.
And to get that much juice on that ball is just insane.
That's him.
And
watch his feet.
His velocity is
both
outrageous.
Off the ground, bro. Who else can
throw? Kind of a tight spiral too.
It was a perfect throw. People want to say DJ bailed Caleb out. No, Caleb put that.
I didn't say that. I didn't word it that way.
I'm not suggesting that that's what you said. But Brandon, you were gonna. My thoughts on how Ben Johnson approached that game yesterday. You were gonna comment on that, and I just think it's really important. This is a huge moment for Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
I said I didn't even think about it, but I agree with you. I would imagine. Well, I'm looking back at it now, thinking Ben saw an opportunity for sure. Because and actually, to be honest, I think he still ran the ball more, didn't he? Didn't we run more than we passed in that game?
Yes. Sean pointed that out earlier.
So
to put the ball in his hands when he did it.
He did it surgically for sure. And I think Caleb, especially at home, guys, I think we're about to see a form of Caleb. He's going to transcend himself. I think Caleb Williams.
Ben knows that's going to be an advantage for you at home. If you can throw the ball and a team coming in can't, and Caleb can just get off in that kind of weather, you can't lose at home.
Guys, remember when I picked Miami to win 9 games, and I was like, "Oh God, please, Miami, don't let." I think they're gonna win 9 games.
They're on a 4-game win streak.
I know, dude.
The Steelers are a complete ass, man.
I mean, but they're doing it without Tyreek Hill. Like, I think that saved his job. Mike McDaniel. I think he's gonna stay the coach of the Miami Dolphins. I do.
Franco brought up what LaShawn McCoy said. We brought that up on the pregame show yesterday. I mean, and he was still trying to defend his take last night on their fucking stupid show. LaShawn McCoy is trash. Shedeur Sanders is not better than Caleb. And if Shedeur Sanders had beaten Caleb somehow in that game, which 31-3 was the final score, and you're still trying to walk.
Did you hear Chris Broussard?
LaShawn McCoy is trash.
He's trying to defend
Chris Broussard, the basketball analyst.
Yeah, that he said that Shedeur is better.
Shedeur is going to outplay him no matter who wins.
Nick Wright called it the hottest take in sports talk. Fucking bullshit, hot. And then I think I saw
Rich Eisen,
hot pile of shit.
Yeah,
Eisen picked the Browns. Sean said,
dude,
Sean said he was.
Yeah, Rich Eisen,
Mike Greeny, all those guys, like all those guys on that morning show, whatever that kickoff or whatever Sunday kickoff, whatever it is. All those guys picked the Browns to cover the spread, which was 6.5,
7.5.
So they all picked the Browns to cover the spread, and the Browns scored 3 points. That's
V-Dog has a question here.
Didn't quite get it done.
He says, question for you guys. I know we've all been critical of George McCaskey, but how much credit does he deserve for the transformation of the franchise over the last 2 years, starting with bringing in Warren? I think the only credit he deserves is bringing in Warren, because I think after that, Warren was just told, "Hey, you got the keys to the car. It's up to you. I'm not going to bother you at all."
I think Warren immediately became his boss.
That's the credit that he deserves, Kyle. Nobody's looking inward and saying, "What I'm doing is not working. I need to bring someone in here to take over."
And George
the
McCaskey was sought after, man. George McCaskey,
Kevin Warren.
Kevin Warren. He was the commissioner of the Big Ten, man. He was a lot of people were looking to give him a job.
But there's a lot of owners out there that will just be arrogant and stubborn and not make a decision like that. And McCaskey was that for a long time, and that was the biggest issue with the Bears. So he deserves a shit ton of credit for acknowledging that and making a change.
Attitude reflects leadership. This organization has always been a big fan of yes men, because that's who George McCaskey is. And as soon as he hired Kevin Warren was immediately his superior. Do not get that twisted, man.
But McCaskey has to let him be that, Brandon.
Yes, for sure. He conceded. For the first time in his life, He
Didn't win
conceded.
yet.
Come on, man.
With a good choice, Dustin.
Didn't win yet.
Kevin Warren was a great choice. It was a great choice.
Sean is winning right now. He's winning 97.8 to 122.5. This guy has Devon Achane and Sean has Metcalf. So Sean's up 25 points and he's got Metcalf and that guy's got Achane.
Yeah, that's over.
It's not over.
Because A-Chain can break off a 60.
Thank you, Dustin.
Like yeah.
I've been trying to tell people this all day.
I feel the same way.
Not against the Steelers.
Right now, Kyle has 0
points
points with Darren Waller, but if Darren Waller gets 1 30-yard catch for a touchdown, then this becomes a lot more fucking interesting than I want it to be.
You guys, the Steelers are one of the best teams in the NFL against running backs. They don't allow many 60-yard
Broncos matchup is interesting. He's got Metcalf and Waddle, and
the Bears ran for 99 yards,
42 points
total against the Steelers, bro.
Yeah, Franco talks a lot of shit,
everybody.
so I kind of hope he loses. I'll just say that. Franco's watching right now, so I hope he hears.
I know he is. Let's keep an eye on your matchup, Franco.
Hey, we're 128 days away from the NFL draft.
Anything else you guys want to talk
about?
Listen, man, I think we should talk about leading up to this week a little bit. I think we talk big picture. The Bears are Super Bowl contenders. I think all these teams in the NFC are Super Bowl contenders.
The 3 matchups
are huge.
Let's talk about the people keep asking how many wins do the Bears have to go to the playoffs? I think it's who they beat.
Well,
the Bears have a lineup in front of them.
The NFC heavyweights start this Thursday, man. We got Rams Seattle, followed by Saturday Bears versus Packers. Early slate is Lions, Steelers. Or no, actually, that's going to be a 3:25 game. The early noon slates have the NFC South battle. Then you go to Monday night, Colts Niners, which hopefully Phillip Rivers is Old Man River. And then coming off a short week, you got the Lions playing Minnesota on Christmas Day. So, and then the Packers will have an extra day's rest.
They host the Ravens.
They're hosting the Ravens.
Lamar looked good to me yesterday.
So the NFC,
he did look good yesterday.
Is going to take care of itself over the next 2 weeks, boys.
Yeah, and the Bears and what Brandon's getting at in these matchups, right? Brandon is like if you just beat 2 out of 3 of these teams, you control your destiny.
You eliminated them.
You're knocking them down while building yourself up. You are in the best possible position. A team running to the playoffs.
All 3 of them. All 3
can
of these
be
teams.
in.
Yep.
All 3 of these teams.
It's a 4-way race, and these are the 3 dogs that are with
the Niners can still win the division. The Niners could still win this division.
And if the Bears lose these games, guys, they could fall right out of the playoffs.
Yes,
that's how important
they probably would.
Guys,
if they lost all 3, Dustin, they probably would.
J2 ask a question. He says the Bears are going to lose one of these next 3 games. Which is the best to lose, and which is the worst to lose?
Niners.
You want to win your 2 division games.
Yeah, I want it to be the Niners if we're going to lose one.
Yeah, if I had to pick, I don't like doing that shit. What's up?
You want to go? You want to go? I think if you go, listen. I think if you go, who asked that question?
Which is the must win?
J2K.
Who asked that question? I think if J2K, I think if you go 3-3 in your division and you beat the Packers and Lions to do so, I think the Bears win the North.
Yes. And then you guarantee your number 2 seed. Like I said, if the Bears beat the Packers this Saturday,
Brennan, they have to. They have to. Because they're 2 games. So if they only lose 1 game, they automatically lose the North.
Here, I'll be honest with you.
So the Niners. So by default, the Niners is the game you would.
I'll be honest. The game I don't care if
the
they
most
lose.
least important.
No, the game for me would be Detroit because that means you just beat the Packers and you beat the Niners and your spot is secure. Unless we're fighting for.
Oh, so you're saying like they wouldn't be playing their starters?
If the Bears beat the Packers and beat the Niners, they secure the number 2 seed. Correct. That's done.
And then, who cares?
Do you guys think they play their starters against Detroit
for the number 1 seed?
Do you think they play their starters against Detroit?
If they're playing for the number 1 seed, then yeah. If you're playing,
because they're saying Bears and Detroit's probably gonna be the last game of the year, guys.
It is the last game of the year, Sunday night.
Well,
they haven't named it yet.
They might be Saturday.
They'll know. They'll know.
They already named it on the 4th, Dustin.
Yeah,
it's happening on Sunday.
So they're saying it's probably gonna be the last game of the year. So the Bears will already know if they have a chance at the number 1 seed in the NFC. So
and the Lions might
they play their starters against the Lions if they beat the Packers. And
let me ask you this question: if we're having this conversation, let me ask you this question because I think I know the answer. Do you think Ben Johnson's going to take it easy on the Lions coming into Chicago after what the fucking Lions did?
Yeah, you know what, Justin, that's a good point. But but the only thing you guys think about the other side too. How many injuries have the Bears sustained this year? Like it's unbelievable.
Yeah, but Ben just threw a fucking hail. He went and ran a play that Caleb got hit on the last play of the first half. Ben is not that dude. Ben is not going to let Detroit come in and say, "I'm sitting my guys." I guarantee it. Even if their spot is secured, they can't go up, they can't go down. Ben is going to have these guys playing their ass off against the Detroit Lions, his former team that just beat the shit out of him and put a 50 burger on him.
You don't like complacency, man. Those teams that rest their starters don't ever do very well. I don't like it.
The playoffs,
it doesn't prove there's nothing that proves success
because you're going to get the first round
in sitting your starters.
Well, no, only one team gets the bye, the number 1 seed.
There's nothing in proof. Yeah, no, one team gets a bye. There's nothing to prove success in resting your starters for the last season of the year.
Yeah, no, Ben won't do
health. You can prove players are more healthy, but you cannot prove that the teams do better in the playoffs.
Guys, hopefully they get the number 1 seed. That would be that's win all 3 games. Make sure the Rams, if the Rams lose to Seattle, then Seattle.
I'd certainly like to win 3 in a row.
Yeah, no, let's just beat all fucking 3 of these teams and be the best team in the NFC considered that going into the playoffs. That's the ideal thing. I don't want to take a loss. J2K says thoughts on the ending to the first half since we were talking about that. Should Ben have gone for it on 4th down instead of letting the clock run? I fucking loved it. And I was a little concerned after Caleb got up limping, but like he was fine. I love that we have a coach that does that shit, to be honest. And also, I got some Luther Burton fantasy points out of it, so
kneel
I'm pretty
the
happy
ball.
about that. Brandon was saying kneel the ball. I was like, kneel the ball before the play. Yeah, I liked it. I love Ben Johnson.
Before the play, I said kneel the ball. And then after the play, I said kneel the ball. And then Dustin saw Caleb and was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Because that's just, 3 seconds, man. You're talking about 60-yard play. Like, kneel that shit out.
Yeah,
take that shit with dignity.
If Caleb gets hurt, it's a problem.
Take your health, take it into the locker room with you.
Did you guys have thoughts on that last play of the first half? Did you think that they should have?
I thought I almost shit my pants when I saw Caleb sitting on his knees.
I loved it. Honestly, I loved it.
I texted kneel the ball before that snap.
Sean. Miles Austin just got killed.
He sucks.
Listen, Bears have the Packers this Saturday. Is everybody going over to Sean's for this game? Brandon, are you going? Do you know yet?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to see you guys over there. Yeah. No, I'm excited about this, man. And the Bears have a chance to fucking get their revenge on this team after that game.
What the fuck is Miles Austin?
Receiver for the Steelers.
The guy that
isn't it Calvin Austin?
Isn't
it Calvin Austin?
Yeah, I think it is Calvin Austin, bro.
It's Calvin.
It is Calvin.
Yeah, it's Calvin.
Miles Austin was the old Cowboy.
It's the guy that Roman Wilson should be playing instead of. That's who it is.
It was on a kickoff return. Kickoff return.
Sean, Mikey says he's coming.
Okay.
I'm just excited to see the Bears beat the shit out of the Packers in Soldier Field this Saturday, guys. And we got a whole week to talk about.
Dude, I was wondering, man, what if this is just
like I said earlier in the show, guys,
what if the Bears just run them out of town, dude? What does that say about the Bears? If they just treat the Packers like this,
if the Bears beat the Packers like 34-17, the entire national media would be like, "The Bears are Super Bowl contenders. We've been saying it the whole time." Like,
you know what they're gonna say?
No, you didn't. You didn't say. Nobody said Starbucks.
That's what they're gonna say. The Bears can get no credit, dude. The Bears.
Did you guys think that Micah Parsons got horse collared? I've seen a lot of Green Bay fans say that should have been called. That I didn't think that McGlinchey reached back and kind of grabbed his shoulder pad as he ran past him.
No.
But it had nothing to do with how
he was just cutting so hard.
Legs folded all weird.
It was well after that. I didn't think it had anything to do with that.
It was gross.
Yeah, he was cutting so hard back and forth. He did the Derrick Rose, man. You're such an incredible athlete, but you cut so hard and so fast that the
too much velocity.
The joints and the tendons can't keep up with you, man.
Yeah, Sean shared a video of how to repair an ACL. I'm sitting at work watching how to repair an ACL. What the fuck is going on right now?
It's a DIY.
Sean, I'm never gonna have to perform
repair
this.
your ACL.
Yeah,
do it by yourself at home.
Like I tear it at work. I'm gonna be like, okay, somebody bring me a drill. Like,
dude, Mahomes was disgusting and Parsons was. They were both disgusting.
Yeah, and you just knew it when you saw it.
Dude, Devontae Adams. Did you guys see Devontae Adams' hamstring jumped?
I did not see that one, man. But I heard it was bad. Do you think he's going to be out? Because that's huge for the Rams.
Oh, he's out. He's out. Sean McVay already said there's. Sean McVay already said there's not a good chance he's playing in this game.
Will it come off the bone or something?
No, but your hamstring, if you pull
Yeah,
it, if you
Cliff,
pull
I
it really
agree.
tight, it'll jump up to like almost into your waist. And his did it when he was in the middle of sprinting down the field, dude. And he just automatically grabbed the back of his leg and started slowing down. And he didn't get hit or
Yeah,
anything.
notorious.
It just jumped. His hamstring
Yeah,
just jumped.
non-contacts are bad, dude. It's bad. When you saw that happen to Parsons, I mean, we all knew. You
Yeah, it
all
was
knew.
gross. They were
You
all three of
knew.
those injuries were gross, bro.
And
Yeah,
that
but
Packers team is
even that you just know when nobody touches a player and he falls, you're like, oh, that's it.
yep, and
That's
you know they're done.
that's a wrap.
And that Packers team is
And
going to
it
have to
sucks.
recover. That Packers team has to recover from they just played the Bears in a fucking knockdown drag out game. Then they went to Denver and
At
played
home.
them in a knockdown drag out game. These are two teams that beat the shit out of you. And now they got to come back to Chicago with no Michael Parsons on a short week. I mean, this is a hell of a test for that Packers team and for this Bears team. And I think the Bears got the advantage. And I can't believe they
And
are
I think the
underdogs
Bears
in this
have
game.
less
I fucking
pressure
love
on
it.
them.
I love
After
it.
the Parsons injury,
J2K,
guys,
my answer is yes.
Did
Yes,
the
I
Parsons
believe.
injury shift the pressure onto the Packers in this football
Well,
game?
the pressure's been on the Packers, I think, this whole time. I think the Bears are well ahead of schedule in terms of where we expected them to be.
Watch the
as
Packers.
fans
Watch the
and
Packers
where
have this
the
game
It's
like
still
expected
house
them to
money,
be.
huh?
watch the
Yes, I
Packers.
still think so.
Watch the Packers have this game where they're like, we need to stand up for Micah and we'll win this Bears game, and that motivates
And
them
then
to
just
play
get
better.
murdered.
The Bears are underdogs at home, guys, against this Packers team that just played the Bears and the Broncos back-to-back weeks. I mean, the Packers are hurt. They're licking their wounds. The Bears need to jump on them and take advantage of it.
Yeah, Jordan Love got beat up in that football game, man. He got hit a lot against that Broncos team.
Yep.
And I want to say this.
that Broncos team
nobody
is gonna,
said this.
yeah.
Nobody said this.
Bears can't do that.
For those who watched the game last night or didn't, Bo Nix played a game for the ages, dude.
He played really
I
well.
mean, that kid was on fire, and it was so smooth. There was he just sat back there, and the pressure was closing in because Rashawn Gary and those guys were still getting home. And he just sat back there and made that 4th and 3, Sean, to the perimeter to Sutton, that like 26-yard pass on a 4th and 3. I mean,
Dude, Bo Nix, that was the best game Bo Nix ever had.
He threw the Broncos out of that
dropping
football
dimes,
game.
dude.
Yeah,
he was
and they were in a hole.
If Bo Nix plays like that, the Broncos are going to be really
scary,
really hard to beat for anyone. Yes,
and Surtain's
was magic. Man.
And Surtain's making picks like that, dude.
Yeah,
that pick was amazing.
And Riley Moss,
Sutton's the fucking man.
And Riley Moss. I mean, they got a really good defense. They get after the quarterback. The Bears cannot put pressure like the Broncos did with the front four. Like not even close.
No,
the Broncos.
Sean, I wanted to say to you, Sean,
for sure.
Sean, I wanted to say to you when you gave your Jordan Love analysis after last night's game, when you said he had a chance, he had multiple chances to win the game, and I think the Broncos exposed the formula that beats Jordan Love. It's just, do you have it on your roster or not? If you rush 4 and remain in coverage,
I said after that game last week,
and remain in coverage, this dude's in trouble.
And that's what the Bears did in the second half of that game, and they forced a few 3-and-outs. Like once Dennis Allen stopped blitzing and leaving those safeties back in
coverage, you just play coverage,
and just rushing 4.
Just play coverage on this guy.
They were able to get him off the field. Yeah, so
hopefully
I mean,
the
Bears know that
going
into this week. Yeah. The Bears know that going.
I think they'll be a little bit more prepared. Maybe
a little more aware. For sure.
A little bit more aware, a little bit more prepared. I think it'll be all right.
J2K says, go ahead, Sean.
No, I'm not worried. I'm not.
Yeah, we'll get to our previews on Wednesday.
Normally, I'm pretty worried, but
we're gonna go over the Luther Burden injuries. We're gonna go over all this stuff.
I'm feeling pretty good about this Bears team on Saturday, man. But J2K says, who's the top team in the AFC? Patriots, Bills, or Broncos? I think the Bills are going to go to the Super Bowl. I think the Bills are going to the Super Bowl. I don't think Bo Nix beats Josh Allen in the
after what I watched last night.
No way.
Broncos.
Bo Nix is too inconsistent. Josh Allen is just playing at another. Josh Allen's playing better this year than he did last year when he won MVP.
I think the Bills could be summed up this season with the word inconsistent.
The Bills can, but Josh Allen cannot.
No,
that's the difference to me.
And the Broncos cannot, but Bo Nix can.
Yes, and I think that's the difference. I think Josh Allen.
But the Broncos are not inconsistent. They're a consistently dominant.
Their defense is.
Their offense is inconsistent.
Their offense is very inconsistent, and the Bills' defense is very inconsistent. But I think Josh Allen just has the edge.
Well, I do think
A
too.
lot
I
of play.
do think
I'd take James Cook over RJ Harvey.
Broncos.
here.
Bron-
I'll
that
say
Broncos.
this.
James Cook won't do a thing against that Broncos
I
defense.
know. You guys
Josh
aren't
Jacobs exploded, bro. He had two. What do you have, Sean? 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Come on,
I
man.
know you guys aren't Bills fans like I am, but the Bills were missing 3 of their top defenders yesterday.
And their
that's like
tackle
every
too, right?
week for
And
the
a
Bills,
tackle
Sean.
too, right?
Yeah,
I'm with
but
you,
they lost
Jason.
Bernard and what's his name? The other guy.
The Broncos defense is different.
The Broncos defense is different, and I don't know if the Bills can get past the Broncos defense, man. I mean,
Yeah, they're different. They're different.
Josh Allen's going to just have to.
I agree with Dustin. Josh Allen's going to the Super
think
Bowl.
the
You don't
Bills
have
are
to deal
running
with
to the
Lamar
fucking
Jackson.
Super
You don't have to deal with Joe
Bowl.
Burrow. You don't have to
They're
deal
getting
with,
hot
with
right at the
Patrick
right
The
time.
Mahomes.
Broncos have
Yeah.
4 guys that can get a sack any
Patrick
given
Mahomes
play.
can't knock Josh Allen out of the playoffs this year, guys.
The one
He
good
doesn't
point to
have the
make, Brandon.
opportunity to do so.
The
And that's
one,
how
the
he's been
worst
knocked out of
Josh
the playoffs
Allen has looked
every
all.
fucking year.
Yeah, no shit, Kyle. We were 100% right. But the worst Josh Allen has looked all year was against that Texans defense that rushed 4 all game and sacked the shit out of him. If the Broncos can do that to Josh Allen, that does change the game. So
They have a phenomenal 4-man front, man. I watched them
Only one way
in
to
depth
find out,
for the
guys.
first time last night. Those guys don't lose gas. In the
Only one way
fourth
to find
quarter,
out. You just
in
gotta
the
wait for
bottom of the
game.
fourth quarter,
I
they
got
looked
the
like
Bills.
they had just started the game. Those
You wanna
guys are
know why,
nasty,
Brandon?
man. They
They have
come
a good
after you.
They
rotation.
took the entire first half off, dude. The Packers were running them, dude, in the first half of the game, dude.
Yeah,
That's a
no,
good
they
point,
came
Tristan.
well, and I think obviously they made some adjustments, but they came out, man, and just said, "Fuck it, just get after this dude," and they
Speaking of
did, man,
adjustments,
and
You guys, the Broncos
relentlessly.
run
Speaking of
defense is
adjustments,
not what you think it is.
Love
Like, you're
got
talking like it's the
swallowed
number
up.
1 run defense in the NFL. It's not.
No,
You
yeah,
can run on
James
the
Cook can get
Broncos.
off against
You
them.
can run on the Broncos. man.
No,
and
it's if the Bills want to
can't
run.
The
pass on
second
them.
half, though, Jacobs did not play very well, man.
Jacobs had like a 20-yard rushing touchdown in the second half, didn't he?
I think he had a 60-yard or 40-yard touchdown in the second half.
Yeah.
If you can
touchdown of his
pressure-
career.
If you can do what
Well,
the Texans did to Josh Allen, you can beat the Bills. That's all.
Thanks,
I know.
Ron. We appreciate you,
Thanks,
man.
Ron.
Ron, you're the
Well,
man.
and
brother.
I honestly just think I
Remember
should
for
listen.
2 months.
And we
man.
people kind of look past this and we take it for granted. Sean Payton is a fucking
38
phenomenal
to 10,
football
wow.
coach, man. Sean Payton is a good football coach. He's a really good football coach, and I think that Broncos team is going to end up in a championship at some juncture under his tenure. But I don't see why
like
not
the
this
change.
year. I don't see why not this year.
Hey, really quick, I was looking at the pick six, and I don't know if you're still in the crowd, Laz, but Laz was the only one to take
went
the
6 for 6?
Packers over
Oh.
the Broncos.
Jesus.
Sorry, bud.
Rams, so don't.
That's,
We love you, Laz.
Yeah,
Listen, the Packers had a
that's what
shot
happens
to
when
win
you
that
choose the
game.
Packers game.
The Packers had a shot to win that game. That was a very
They
close
did.
game, hard-fought game.
Guys, I think I said this to Sean. I think
No, and it took Bo Nix
when the team
heroics.
found out. Hold on, when the team found out that Micah Parsons was a non-contact injury, and I think you could see his mouth. He said, "I just tore something."
He said, "I'm out." He said, "I'm out."
I think the Packers. I think as much as they wanted to compete in that game and win that game, and I think that a lot of them in the back of their head they were thinking,
The
Micah
wind left the sails.
Micah. Yeah, exactly. It took the wind out of their sails. That's what I said to Sean on his couch. I said, I think this is going to take the wind out of the Packers' sails and they're going to lose this game.
Well, and
exactly what I said.
And we can't state
that might
enough.
carry over this week too.
We can't state enough, Kyle.
If the Bears were up 21-17 and Caleb Williams left the game on a non-contact injury, would you be surprised if the other team just started to dominate the football game? Because everybody in the Bears would be like, "Oh my
that's
God,
a little different."
What's
Caleb
it all?
Williams versus Montez.
It's worth
Sweat.
saying, and I think this was my
Michael
point to you,
Parsons.
Sean, last night.
Micah Parsons to Montez Sweat.
Sean, when I said to you, this is like a run for the ages, like a game you talk. The Packers defense actually played coverage like pretty fucking well, and Bo Nix was just he wasn't
Bo Nix
having
had his
it.
best game as a
He
career.
just put it on the money every
And
time he
Caleb
moved
needs
the
to do
ball.
that on Saturday.
Those two throws to Cortland Sutton, those fingertip.
It was
were
outrageous.
absolutely fucking amazing.
And that's what Caleb needs to do on Saturday against the Packers.
Yeah, we just hope that he has the receivers to throw to. You guys, we'll break all that down on Wednesday and Thursday this week.
Bronco says, "Watch out for the Jaguars in the AFC." I'm not watching out for the Jaguars in the AFC.
Trevor Lawrence is playing his ass.
Trevor Lawrence is playing the best he's ever played.
Yeah, and that's great for him, and I agree with that. But I don't take the Jaguars
And
seriously.
Kyle, so is ETN.
With the Broncos,
so is
or the
ETN.
Bills.
ETN's playing the best he's played in his career.
I don't know. Do you think the Jaguars can beat the Patriots in the playoffs? I don't know. I don't think so.
They beat them in the regular season.
No, the Patriots' run defense is too good. All right, guys, let's thank the chat and get out of here, man. We got 2 hours Monday night.
Ron Winarski, James, Shorty jumped in, Flex, Franco, Relentless Mikey. We had T Lions run the North in here, Cliff Victoria, Notorious jumped in, man. We appreciate all of y'all for being here. Breaking news, Bruce, as always. Jed is one of our favorites, always comes with the funny shit. Romy. I mean, I can't name all of y'all because there's just so many, but we fucking appreciate the shit out of y'all. I didn't see Dante in here tonight. That sucks. J2K, Vizzo, Joe, V-Dog. Y'all are all fucking awesome, man. If you're not sharing this with a friend, please do us that favor. Share it with a friend. Share it with someone you love. Tell them how much you love it and how much we'll love them if they come join us. We appreciate all y'all. Every time you're in here, it makes the show better. The show ain't shit without you. So thank you for being here as always. Like, subscribe. Love you.
Much love, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks for putting up with us.
Good night, John.
Yeah, we got a little out of hand a few times, but we tend to do that.
And hold on.
Hey,
anything you want to get out there before you wrap up?
Shit, fuck Green Bay.
All right. Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. It's Green Bay week, man. We ain't getting
2 sacks. Booker had 2 sacks. Let's do that shit again against this Green Bay team.
Booker's
fuck Green Bay.
Yeah, if the 4 can get pressure, man.
Booker is a stud, Sean. You are
That's
correct.
the recipe. If the 4 can get pressure, that's how you win.
Yeah, that's going to be easier said than
done. I want to see this against Green Bay.
Terrible.
I want to see this against Green Bay. I want to see dimes. I want to see.
Well, we kind of, dude. The pass he made to OZ might have been just as good as that pass if you really.
You guys ever notice that Caleb taps? You ever notice that Caleb taps the ball every time he throws it?
Yep, he's an easy guy to get a read on because he always hits that pat. That pass right there.
Both
that
of those
pass
are,
right there is fucking phenomenal, dude.
Good God.
16% probability.
Guys, that's our quarterback right there. Yeah. That's the Bears quarterback.
Dude, the DJ Moore one.
That's the Bears quarterback.
But I want to talk about completion percentage, Brandon.
It's hard to stomach. It really is. It's
the
crazy.
DJ Moore one was 0.08%.
No, it was it was 16 as well. From what I saw, they were both about
on 670 today. They said, I don't know, maybe they were talking about something else, but they said that DJ Moore throw the 0.07% that one of the defenders could not touch that ball, and only DJ Moore could touch that ball.
Yeah, I thought 16% on both, so they were both about just as improbable as the other, and they're both amazing throws. But I mean, if it wouldn't surprise me if the DJ Moore one was more.
I thought the throw to DJ's first touchdown
knocked it down. He could.
I don't think
the DJ Moore one could have been knocked down.
The throw on DJ's first touchdown was just as impressive.
Where Caleb put it, Kyle.
Yeah, I don't think it could have been knocked down. The one against the Packers to Zacchaeus, that corner could have knocked. If he didn't go for the pick, he could have just stuck his hands.
It went through his hand.
It went through. It did. It did. I had the picture of it. I took it out.
Did you guys hear what Caleb said? By the way, he got asked, "Do you think that you should have made that throw? Is ill-advised throw or something?"
Michael Jordan comment.
Caleb said, "Nah, I can make any throw." And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, that damn straight, Caleb. You can make any throw. You're my quarterback.
At the end of the game, it was really nice. The Caleb Myles Garrett interaction where he walked up to him and he was like, "You weren't gonna get that on me," but they were very friendly. And he goes, "You're a legend." And he turned around and goes, "You go get your 4,000 passing yards." Thought it was a really cool interaction.
Myles Garrett's the shit. There was that one play where Myles Garrett got right in Caleb's face and Caleb just dirted it. And he was like, "I'm not fucking with that." that was a very smart play by Caleb.
Yeah, that guy can hurt you even if he doesn't want to.
You guys ever seen the video where that guy goes up to Myles Garrett and he goes, "Hey man, I know I'm a nobody, but do you mind if I get your jersey after the game?" And
Myles, that was the offensive lineman for
Myles Garrett's like, "You ain't a nobody. You're here on the field just like everybody else. You've earned your spot."
Rookie offensive lineman. I can't remember who it was, Cal, but I did. Yeah. Myles Garrett is.
Do you guys remember the time Myles Garrett pulled up to a traffic light and got punched in the face by a stranger and laughed? That happened.
Like from those 80s movies.
A guy ran up to his car.
Big guy gets punched in the face and doesn't even move, and then the guy gets like super scared.
The guy ran up to his car and punched him in the face, and he laughed in response. Because if he got out of the car and stood up, that's a clear devocation of
Myles Garrett looks like he was made in a fucking lab, dude.
Dude, he really does, man.
That's a shit yourself moment. Dude, he's a freak.
Iceman is right, Jed.
DK Metcalf.
Thank you so
and
much,
Myles
guys.
Garrett.
Appreciate you guys, man. Go enjoy some terrible Monday Night Football.
Yeah, let's just hope. I'm only up 20 points. See, my lead is dwindling, Kyle. Dwindling.
I'm only up 17. I'm only up 17 on Kyle right now. Darren Waller is 17.
It ain't over till it's over.
Hold on, real quick. Is this a new member of the chat just jumping in?
Have
you guys seen that name before?
I've never seen
Elise. No.
You got it, Sean? You got the platform? Just to kind of.
When you come here, we give you the clap.
Hey, man. Yep. Yeah, and you're gonna need some antibiotics afterwards. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Peace and bear down, everybody. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Go back and watch the rest of the show, Elise. Go back and watch the rest of the show. It was a good one. Love y'all.
Love you guys.